join the Sonic Fusion revolution. Now you can brush and floss at the same time. With 2 times the bristle speed and superior flossing power, it cleans deep between teeth and below the gum line. Clinically proven to be up to twice as effective as regular brushing and flossing for removing plaque and improving gum health. So upgrade your oral care with the world's first flossing toothbrush. Go online or ask your dental professional about Waterfix Sonic Fusion.
What are you doing tonight? How about watching some NFL Tuesday night football? Yes, Tuesday night football, not Thursday night football or Sunday football or even Monday night football. NFL Tuesday night football, once again, thanks to COVID. Hopefully everyone is doing well and staying safe. But as always, I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cohen Luke 96. If you're tuning in and listening, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Hit the thumbs up button. Share hashtag NFL, chat questions and comments, super chat, super stickers. Always greatly appreciated as well. 6-7 Washington, 6-7 Philadelphia, as the Eagles are at home as a 9.5-point favorite. We'll also have Seattle and LA kick off momentarily as well. However, Washington, Philly here. Winner stays alive in the playoff hunt as a wild card, whereas the loser, well, their season for the most part, we're going to be over with. But as we finally end Week 15 here tonight, once again on Tuesday Night Football, only for the 5th time since 1948, there's still a lot of football left to be played. And then, as mentioned, also about to kick off from Southern California, we'll have a rematch with Seattle and LA. That, of course, was the game in which Russell Wilson went down with his hand injury early October on Thursday night. Now they play on a Tuesday night because of the postponement. Both these games tonight, of course, divisional matchups. This is the first of 2, though, for Washington and Philly. They'll meet another 12 days from now. Yeah, because of a few postponements here this week 15, here we are wrapping up the week on this Tuesday night. College football bowl season continuing as well, as we just saw Wyoming defeat Kent State in the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, and then coming up in about a half hour or so from the Lone Star State, we'll have the Frisco Bowl with the Roadrunners of UTSA and the Aztecs of San Diego State. Be sure to go check out my college football bowl game bowl season preview as well. And then also anyone wondering if we'll also in about an hour or so from now be tuning in to watch the WWE NXT 2.0 tonight, even with AJ Styles set to appear in a ploy for ratings. The answer to that is a big no, because I have not watched NXT in a good 3-4 months now, after they ruined what once was NXT. Don't fix, of course, what ain't broken. But with this game, with Washington and Philly, we'll start the Eagles here first. Nick Sirianni, the head coach of the Eagles, he doesn't care where or when his team has to play this game. They'll be there. But he's going to have a decision to make at quarterback, whether it's going to be, of course, Jalen Hurts or Gardner Minshew. Hurts with an injury. Minshew played 2 weeks back. They're coming off of a bye. We'll see. Only time will tell. Whereas with Washington, the Redskins, the Washington football team, or, once again, whatever the hell their new nickname will be next year, Riverboat Ron Rivera has Taylor Heineke and Kyle Allen, 2 quarterbacks he had in Carolina with him with the Panthers. They're at quarterback, but it looks like Garrett Gilbert will start for just the 2nd time ever in his career tonight. First, of course, was last November with Dallas Cowboys against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he didn't look too bad, from what I recall, in those 60 minutes. Kyle Shermer going to back up, but because Heineke and Allen are still on the COVID-19 reserve list, Garrett Gilbert will, in fact, start. Of course, he's played in the Alliance of American Football League, the AAF, also in the XFL. Browns, Cowboys just got signed off the Patriot practice squad. Has practiced for a few days with the Skins, and he'll start here tonight. So, why don't you say we take a trip down the Lazy River and wind up as one big happy family, and of course, in the end, see who plays versus who doesn't, and then who steps up in their absence. But tonight, expect a lot of running the football. All running backs included with Antonio Gibson, J.D. Cahill, McKissick, Boobie Miles, of course, Miles Sanders, Kenny G, and Gainwell, Boston Mass, and then Jordan Howard, the former Bear and Dolphin. I feel this game going to be a lot like the Raiders-Browns game from yesterday, which was also postponed from Saturday until Monday afternoon at 5 o'clock. Here we are Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. We'll have interesting couple hours to say the least, but hoping for two good games here. Looks like Hurts will start for Philly, and then, as mentioned, Garrett Gilbert will start for Washington. But expect a lot from these running backs. A lot of rushing, a lot of pounding the rock and running the football. Low scoring, down the wire. One of the final plays, if not the final play of the game. A defensive showdown. What defensive bends doesn't take. A football game doesn't break. Special teams in the end, the difference. But in the end, keep it simple, balance and consistency. Take what the defense gives you. Don't turn the football over, and you're going to be in a good spot when the game's on the line. But it looks like Washington's going to get the football here to begin the game. And as always, coming at halftime, we'll have first half stats and scores. Recap this crazy Week 15 from Thursday to Saturday, all the games Sunday, doubleheader yesterday, now doubleheader tonight, along with previewing Week 16 that'll kick off about 48 hours from now. So we are, in fact, ready to go, as Tuesday will be gone over the next few short hours with this NFL Tuesday night doubleheader, and Washington back deep to receive, touchback in the end zone, 1st and 10 from the 25. So, yeah, Garrett Gilbert, he was a decent college quarterback. I know him, of course, from when he was with the Cowboys last year. There's a graphic for that, because he almost beat the Steelers. That game came down on the final play. Pittsburgh found a way to win. Of course, they continued to stay undefeated until this time last year, before they lost 5-6 and then got bounced in the first round of the playoffs. But Gibson on the screen near side, he's going to get to the 45-yard line on a 20-yard completion. So with Washington, of course, with Garrett Gilbert in a quarterback, take the pressure off of them, do what Cleveland did yesterday with I can't even remember who the hell started for them at quarterback now, and that was just yesterday. But that's what, happens when they're a backup quarterback and they're not playing a lot, and, you just in one year out the other. He'll hand off Gilbert for a yard for Gibson, who, along with McKissick, have battled injuries this year. And just Washington had Seattle beat, and then they somehow almost blew it a couple weeks back on Monday night. And, that game came down to the final play. Like I said, low scoring. Take the pressure off of Gilbert, like Cleveland did with Nick Mullins, is the quarterback I'm thinking of, who in his first ever start won, but then his second ever start he lost yesterday. So roles are reversed. Gilbert lost his first start. Maybe Washington wins tonight with him at the helm. Of course, Ron Rivera has more head coaching experience than Nick Sirianni does, but Philly, as of late, as they lead the league in rushing right now, they've been running the ball extremely well the past month and a half or so. And when they've had more than 150 yards rushing as a team, they're 4-2 in those 6 games. So 3rd and 10 after the incompletion from the 44. Gilbert near side and caught, but going to be short in 4th and 4, and they'll punt to begin the game. So, not a bad start, but you don't want to start like Cleveland did, though, either yesterday. 4 straight punts. You miss a field goal to close the half, and then regardless of how that second half played out. Even with you coming back, you have that kick. The Raiders aren't kicking a game-winning field goal. They need a touchdown to beat you because you would have been up 17-13. But then you lost 16-14. But special teams, you always got to rely on those. Kick the football, Brandon Staley. We'll see if Nick Sirianni. It seems like these young head coaches, all they care about is damn analytics, and whatever they're told to do is what they're going to do. I mean, anymore, it's like gut instincts seems like it doesn't matter. And, we'll see what Philly does here coming up, but Jalen Hurts going to start. First time in a little over 3 weeks. He's been injured, lower leg injury on the ankle, and find a running game. Both teams, that's why I said expect a lot of rushing, just as it was yesterday, with Vegas and Cleveland. Neither team had over 100 yard rushing with a single player, but what got Cleveland back in the game was they were able to run Nick Chubb in third, fourth quarter. And they scored one touchdown, should have had two, but they ended up punching it in anyway, and still found a way to be the Browns of old and found a way to lose. And now they're both 7-7. Both these games tonight, though, are in the NFC, unlike the AFC, as they were split yesterday. In the doubleheader Monday night last night, it was 10-3 when we signed off at halftime. The Vikings up on the Bears. The Bears have now been eliminated from playoff contention. I don't know why Matt Nagy's still the head coach, but they'll fire him eventually, unless they're going to keep him, which at this rate I don't know why they would. But Minnesota only scored once in that second half, and it was 17-3 your final score, for anybody wondering. And, we'll recap at halftime and preview next week as well. But with this matchup, and with, of course, and hopefully we get some updates with Seattle and LA, and if anybody's listening and has a game on in their area, because these are only local regionally broadcast. Lucky enough to have this here tonight. Was supposed to have it 1 o'clock on Fox anyway, so here we are tonight. Still with the game, but they did expand the TV map for it. It's basically split, as I hope it would be, from the Midwest to the East Coast for this Washington-Philly matchup, and then from the Midwest to the West Coast with Seattle and LA, and then a few other markets getting one game or the other. But if Seattle loses, even though they've won 2 in a row and they're 5-8, they're going to be done for. I feel like they'll be done for. Of course, they can win out and get some help. Okay, then maybe. Never say never, but probably never. Not at least this year, and then that might be the end of that tenure, for what we know the Seahawks to be over the past decade or so. But with this one, as we come back from break, both teams are 6-7. The loser also will be out because they'll play again. So even if they'd split, well, probably worse for both because they probably still both miss out then. But with Dallas leading the East, whoever wins this game will be in second place because the Giants are done for. And then they'll hope to try to sneak in as the 7th seed, as the final wild card. But, of course, there's other teams around the league, and it's going to come down to the wire. It's going to be a very wild, interesting next few weeks, and with tiebreakers coming into play potentially with head-to-head wins and then winning percentage, as a 4-yard run up the middle by Sanders to make it 2nd and 6, and then a pass complete to the rookie wide receiver out of Alabama, who was last year's Heisman Trophy winner, and Devontae Smith. Looks like he's going to be about a yard short, though. 3rd down and 1 from the Lincoln Financial Field in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So, see if Washington get off the field here and force a punt, and then a punt contest on our hands for the time being. But here a few minutes in from the 22-yard line, 3rd down and 1 for Philly. Hurts gonna fake it, and it's gonna be caught and dropped by Dallas Goedert. Wow. That's a catch and run for a score for the most part. Probably would have got pushed out past midfield, but that's a drop. We had too many of those yesterday by Donovan Peoples-Jones, and then he, made up for it in the second half, but it was still a little too late. And, even with the Raider turnovers, Derek Carr still led his team down the field and got in field goal range and they kicked game-winning field goal. So, yeah, I don't know why the refs are huddling up. That's a drop, and that's an incomplete pass, and it's 4th down and 1. Of course, they keep Goddard and trade Zach Ertz to Arizona, who just lost on the road for the first time this year this past Sunday against the Lions. But, yeah, we got a punt contest in our hands here for the time being. But it's still early, still a lot of football played. And boos are starting to come in from the crowd. Christmas is Saturday. I'm sure Santa's there. There's no snow, though, so they can't be pelting snowballs at Mr. Claus, but... What? Oh, it's an interception by Washington. Ron Rivera, are you kidding me? I got to see a replay on this. And, I mean, for Sirianni, this probably wouldn't be a bad challenge. That's a pick. That is an interception. Don't challenge it because you're going to lose it. But it'd be for field possession. You pin them deep, make them drive on you. No, it hit. Goddard dropped it, hit the back of his right heel, and then the Redskins caught it off the deflection, the Washington football team. And now they have a 1st and 10, setting up shop with Gibbs starting field position. Now you run the football with Gibson, McKissick, take the pressure off of Garrett Gilbert, open up play action, get some points here. You got to capitalize off turnovers. What I say earlier, do not turn the ball over. And on the Eagle opening drive, they do just that. On an incompletion, on a weird play, very weird play. Refs, you suck chance. That's a good call. You see the replay, you can be pissed off all you want. That's an interception. I bet you any money they try to do that again, or 99 more times out of 100, it won't happen. 1st and 10, they hand off up the middle, 2, maybe 3 yards. So, yeah. That's why the refs were huddling up after an incompletion that we thought it was, and then it was an interception. So they do get the call right on the field. I don't know if somebody buzzed down and said, hey, this is what happened, so we don't have to delay this game any, and review it, have them challenge if they want to, but now 2nd and 8 from the 24. Gilbert for 6.5, 7 yards on the give to Gibson up the middle. A couple of former Memphis running backs and wide receivers at running back tonight in this matchup with Washington and Philly. Of course, Antonio Gibson, who came alive last year on Thanksgiving at Dallas. A few weeks after, when Gilbert was a Cowboy, almost beat the Steelers. And then, of course, Kenny Gainwell for the Eagles, the rookie. So a few young backs going to work the load. Philly's going to split by committee more so not compared to Washington. But and Achille, that's a good way to describe with what's going on, because off of the back of Dallas Goedert, got picked off. But I don't know if that was intended by any means, but yeah. Noise in the background, just the audio from the game. Potentially a few dogs barking, but we got 2 NFL games on and 2 college football games on today. It's a Tuesday. Who would have thought that would happen? I don't care if it's before Christmas or not with bowl season, because this isn't how normally it is for bowl season, But it's the 2nd straight year and the 5th time since 1948 we've had NFL action on Tuesdays. 2nd and 8 from the 11. Gilbert looking to throw. It's going to be caught near side, out of the backfield. They're going to work this screen game a lot. Quick, short passes. Work the sticks. That's complete to Gibson for 6, maybe. Be 3rd and 2. Under 10 to play here in the opening quarter. See where they spotted at. Got to get some points. Yeah, 3rd and 2 from the 5. So you got 4 or 5 shots to punch it in now. Gibson on a toss near side. He's going to be brought down right the 1 yard line. Be first and goal. Why don't you sneak it? Why don't you sneak it? Keep running it, though. Very odd start to this game, no doubt about it. I wish, as I mentioned yesterday, this game would have kicked off at, say, 5 o'clock. Gibson on the give, and he's going to dive over the pile into the end zone for a touchdown, and the Skins take an early 6-0 lead off an interception. 8:14 to play in the opening quarter, pending the upcoming extra point. 6-0 Washington football team leading the Eagles. No, but this game I thought, just because to get people watching the game, spike those ratings, that's all they fucking care about. Have this at 5 like it did yesterday, and then have the other one kick off at 8:15, 8:30, and have them both be national rather than both at 7 o'clock on Fox. But both games were originally, supposed to be on Fox Sunday anyway. I mean, you could still do that, though, but half the country is getting this, half the country is getting the other game. No updates yet. I'm sure they'll give an update of this game there. But we'll head to break with Washington up 7. Capitalizing off the turnover. Few-minute drive, 25 yards plus, and a touchdown. So if they keep that up, I mean, like I said yesterday, too, with the Raiders, because I have a feeling this game's going to be very similar to that. 10-0, until they couldn't stop the run in the second half. Maybe score a few more points, which they did, 2 field goals, even though they got beat in the second half. 6-minute game, and Cleveland didn't do enough early to win it in the end. That if Washington just take the pressure off of Gilbert and run the football, open play action, rely on their defense, they have arguably one of the best front sevens in the NFL. And really don't have to do a lot late. You can just, probably at that point hope to hold on to win. Then okay, so be it. A win's a win in the end. Loser, I feel, is done for. I do, because you're 6-8. Now Seattle would be 6-8 though if they'd win. Now the NFC West is tougher than the East because Dallas is going to be the only team out of the division, of course, to win it, as all the other division winners are too. No shit, but it'd come down to wild card, and I feel Seattle would have a better shot at that rate. Even though Washington and Philly are both good. I know I've said a few times, this is probably a month or so ago, because the Cowboys started to stumble a little bit, that, and they have a 3-4 game lead now after tonight, that both Philly first and Washington's coming from the Cowboys for the division, but not anymore, because Dallas is starting to pull away, and they're, the 3 seed because of the Cardinal loss on Sunday, with Green Bay 1, Tampa's 2. They got some injuries, with Leonard Fournette going to be out, looks like the rest of the regular season. And then Chris Godwin blew his knee out. He's done for the year. They're going to sign Le'Veon Bell, I guess. They're getting Antonio Brown back too, so a Steeler reunion down in Tampa. Dallas is 3, and then Arizona is 4. And then your 5, 6, and 7s are your wild cards. And, also around the league, there's a few teams, still in the hunt. That's why this game's a big game tonight. Next Monday night with Miami and New Orleans, both at 7-7 in a after Christmas AFC NFC crossover Monday night game. Loser goes home there probably too. The Rams are up 3-0 on Seattle, so they get a field goal. They also got a lot of players back following their Monday night win last week at Arizona, whereas Seattle, and rightfully so, the teams with the Raiders, the Seahawks, and Eagles, I'd be absolutely pissed. More so not Seattle, because they had players that were good to go, but because the game was postponed, they've since tested positive for COVID, and now they're out, so now they can't play. But it's still next man up. Standard to standard, you play with who you have. That's why you have a 53-man active roster, plus now an unlimited practice squad with the new ruling from the league last week. But second down for Philly here, midway through the opening quarter. Down by 7 after a 6-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 4 for Fly. Eagles fly. Got 2 running backs, plus Jalen Hurts in at quarterback, so 3 running backs basically on offense. But out of the gun, got a 3 wide from the 36. They'll fake the give and then run a screen on the backfield. Missed block, and then that play was dead from the start. Good coverage, and they bring them down in the backfield for a loss of 2. So 3rd down and 8. So we do have some action early in both of these contests. 3-0 out in LA with the Rams on top of the Seahawks, and then the capitalization on the touchdown off the interception for Washington up here on Philly. So thank you for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. 3rd down and 6. They say no gain, even though he lost a good yard, maybe 2 on that play. So trips in a bunch near side from 35. 3rd down and 6, which they need the 41 for a 1st down. Hurts going to be caught by Goddard. Well, they should have caught the first one, and then they wouldn't have the interception. And, well, who knows? Whether they're still tied or they're up rather than trailing. But big 3rd down conversion there. He brings on that catch down the middle of the field out past. Oh, my God. He had a man wide open deep as well. If you want to take a deep shot, they might have a 1st and goal right now inside the 20. But in the meantime, on this next play, Jalen Hurts going to go down on the sack back at the 48-yard line and make it 2nd and long. He had Goddard. He went to him. At least they keep the drive alive. Big 3rd down conversion, but 1 step forward, 2 steps back. You can't take a sack. You can't. And if you're not going to be able to run the football, let alone stop it on defense, it's going to be a long night for you. 2nd and 12. And fake from Hurts. He's going to pump fake and then ends up throwing it, and it's caught right at the 20-yard line. Do they say catch? No, they say incomplete, out of bounds. Intended for Devontae Smith, and he's wearing an arm brace on his left arm. See a replay here. He caught it. We're both feet in bounds, though, is the question. Catch. That's a catch. That's a catch. That is a catch. They got that one wrong. Where's the challenge flag at? That's 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line for Philly. That's a catch. Yeah, they say incomplete on the field, 3rd and 12. They'll overturn this. They'll have the undisputed video evidence they need to overturn it, give them the 1st and 10, right around the 20-yard line, yeah. Philly's going to challenge, and they're going to win it. Yeah, that's a good decision by Nick Sirianni. I still don't think Philly should ever fire Doug Peterson, but I'll digress on that. They got a little too high there after they won the Super Bowl and should have got rid of Wentz long before they did and kept Foles. But in the end, it's worked itself out to this point, but still you have a quarterback dilemma with Hurts, and then, with as good as Gardner Minshew played 2 weeks ago, okay, but it was against the New York fucking Jets, okay? So, arguably, and the Lions with their 2 wins, they're better than the record shows, but they're still, of course, record-wise one of the worst in the league. The Jets, the Giants, the Texans, and the Jaguars are arguably the 4 worst teams in the league this year, I think. Along with the Bears, and the Raiders are looking for a new head coach. Jacksonville just joined them, following Urban Meyer last week. So it's been a whirlwind of a week, to say the least, in the NFL. Get head coach fired on a Wednesday night at midnight, early Thursday morning. The Thursday night game, College Football Bowl season begins on Friday. Had more games, of course, Saturday, off Sunday, yesterday, rest of the week. But then NFL action Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and now today as well. And then another day off along with Friday. You'll play Thursday, doubleheader, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and just a lot going on, no doubt about it. But the coaching carousel is about to pick up. That'll run wild and get hot, and we'll see who has a job versus who doesn't, who's taking over. But don't really know where the hell I'm going with it. But with Nick Sirianni, like, as I always say, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And Philly down the stretch here recently, they've been playing damn good football. They have. I've seen them numerous times, of course. With myself being a Steeler fan, the Eagles are still on for the most part a good portion of the time. So I've seen them play a lot this year. Whether the game was played at this time or that time, it really doesn't matter. Recently, they've been able to find ways to win games, just find a way in the end. They can put themselves in a good spot to contend for a playoff spot, and you still just got to take care of business down the stretch here. And then, it's a whole new season come playoff time, but we'll see what happens. After review, it is a completion. They win the challenge to catch. It's 1st and 10 Philly. So the call is going to be overturned, reversed. And, yeah, they'll keep their 3 timeouts. They'll still have 2 more challenges the rest of the way. So both teams here, 5:29 to play in the opening quarter with all 3 timeouts remaining. Washington up 7. Capitalize, you're just not tuning in, off of a Philly interception on a very weird play. Hit off the back of the heel of Tallis Goddard on an incompletion. They somehow caught it. And then they drove 30 yards and scored a touchdown. Now, Philly, second drive here after a punt. They win the challenge. They have a 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Right to left across your television screen, already on our dial. Once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Toss near side for about 4, maybe 5 to Miles Sanders, the Pittsburgh product. He played his college ball right here in the center of state for Penn State, right here in Happy Valley at Beaver Stadium, now in the eastern part of the state with Philadelphia. And when they find a running game with whoever is running the football for the Eagles, they have a better chance of winning. And as mentioned earlier, when they rush for more than 150 as a team, this past month and a half, they're 4-2 in those 6 games. So 2nd and 6, Hurts going to go down on their sack and a fumble, and the Washington football team, the Redskins, pick it up and they're running it back to the 45, maybe midfield, depending on the spot. And then another fumble, but he had to have been down by contact. And Washington still recovers it anyway, so what a play that was. Jesus Christ. Now, the question is, was Hurts down before the ball came out? Because if so, all that after fact doesn't matter. Yeah, that's a fumble. That ball's out way before he's down. They recover. Now, did Philly ever recover it and have control, possession of it before they fumbled? No, Washington's going to be down 1st and 10. So 2 turnovers. So they win the challenge, then what? 2 plays later, Hurts goes down on their sacks. So it starts up front. You got to be able to protect quarterback. Of course, get after the opposing quarterback as well. But you got to be able to run the football and play action, run their defense. And special teams mark the win, in my opinion. So just not a good start by any means whatsoever by Philly. It all starts up front. You got to protect the quarterback. You can't allow him to go down on sacks like that and run for his life. The interception wasn't his fault, but that fumble, yeah, it was. Even though, really, at the same time, it still wasn't. But he's got no better to hold on to the football, whether he's going down on the sack or he's tucking and running. And, you got to play smart. You got to play smart. The Frisco Bowl, the Tropical Smoothie Cafe Frisco Bowl with University of Texas San Antonio and San Diego State about to kick off right now over on ESPN. That is today's question of the day on social media. Be sure to go vote. Let me know in the comments below as well. You have winning that and these 2 NFL matchups right now. But should be a good game. Should be a very, very good game. Between the two, they've only lost 3 total games this year, so should be a barn burner down to the wire. as hopefully these ones in the NFL are tonight as well. But no, if Washington can capitalize again off of another turnover by the Eagles, like I just said, go up, whether it be 10, 14 points. In the end, if you continue to just do what you're doing now, find your running game and run the ball when you need to in the second half, score a few more points maybe, you're going to come out on top with the W. So, of course, they're going to preview next week. We got a good slate next week. We do. As we come down the stretch here of this regular season, but we'll get more into that later on. Yeah, 'tis the biggest season ever in NFL history. 'Tis Philly turning the football over and Washington going to try to extend their lead here, but they'll have a 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line. And Garrett Gilbert's going to go deep, and he has a man, Terry McLaurin, and he's going to catch it at the 7-yard line, 1st and goal, Skins. Wow. Putting it to him. Just a simple go route down the far sideline. Got Mark Sanchez on the call because he couldn't cut in the league after the butt fumble, but he's played for both of these teams, so probably a good idea to have him on the call because he knows how both are going to play, whether it's ugly or turns into a blowout or, it's close down to the end. Here we are, 1st and goal. They're going to fake the give, we're going to play action. That's a hold or a block in the back, if you will. And no penalty, but after the incompletion, bring up 2nd and goal now from 7 to keep running the damn football. Work the clock. You have the lead. I don't care if it's early or not. Run the damn ball. Like I said, Garrett Gilbert, from what I could recall when he was starting with the Cowboys last year, he almost beat the Steelers. Pittsburgh, of course, the defense won him the game in the end, as they did on Sunday against the Titans as well, but he's reliable, and he's not playing bad here tonight. And it's, they're taking pressure off him now with the running game, and we'll pull up some stats in a minute, but just keep it simple. Keep it simple. Don't get in over your head. Don't do too much. 3rd and goal from, the 3.5, 4-yard line? Philly fans on their feet. They want to stop. They don't want to force a kick. And a motion man near side. Gilbert looking to throw. And back to the end zone. Intended for Humphreys, incomplete. So they will have to settle for 3. Here comes field goal unit. And with 2:50 to play in the opening quarter, following 2 Eagle turnovers, Washington's about to be up 10-0. This field goal going to be a chip shot. Officially from, about 20 yards? 22 yards, okay. Kicks up and good. Washington leads Philly 10-0. 2:47 to play in the first. If Philly doesn't turn the ball over, we're tied at 0 right now. But at the same time, at least that second Philly drive, they probably would have scored a few points. I don't know about a touchdown, but probably would have had self 3. So they have a few, hypothetically speaking, think about it that way. And Washington, the way they've been able to drive the football, they have probably more than a few points, whether that's 2 field goals, 2 touchdowns, the touchdown field goal they have. But they have those because of turnovers, able to capitalize off turnovers. I said at the start, do not turn the ball over. I always say that, but with the turnover margin and the differential with these two teams, even if Philly's running the ball as good as they are, Penalties and turnovers kill you. We haven't really had any penalties. The refs huddled up for the incompletion that was an interception. And then they missed the incomplete pass, which was a catch. And then the Eagles challenged and they won it. So officials need to step up. Officiating this past week, I thought, has absolutely fucking sucked. I don't know about anybody else by any means. But at the same time, when isn't it? You know, talk about getting in over your head. Well, the refs do that and they try to control the game. But you can't turn the ball over. Home, away, neutral site, whether you're playing good football or not, you can't turn the ball over and expect to have a chance to win the game because you're not going to. Now, maybe something crazy happens and you find a way to win, but just no. No. But here, as we near the end of the opening quarter, as Seattle was trailing by 3 at LA, the visitor in this matchup, Washington leads by 10. 10-0. Garrett Gilbert's 4-7 for 78 yards passing. Gibson, 7 carries, 20 yards rushing. And then, of course, Terry McLaurin's catch for 46 yards got him in goal-to-go situation there. And in the end, okay, they settled for 3, but they still kicked the field goal, and it's up and good, so 10-0. And now Philly's going to get the ball back. Jalen Hurts is 4-5 for 51 yards rushing, or passing, excuse me. Has no rushing yards, surprisingly, but he has been sacked twice, so he'd be in the negative category in that regard. But it's the turnovers. Yeah, he has the interception. That wasn't his fault. The fumble was. So, yeah, he's 4-5, 51 yards passing in the INT. Miles Sanders, 3 carries and 13 yards rushing. Devontae Smith in his Robart left arm has 2 catches, 33 yards, and Dallas Goedert should have 2 catches, 1 for 19, though, to keep that last drive alive before the incomplete pass that was overturned on the challenge, and then 2 plays later they fumble it, so nothing going Philly's way right now. Not a damn thing. And just as the Raiders are up 10 on Cleveland yesterday, here's Washington on the road, also up 10. But we still got a lot of football left to be played tonight. 1st and 10 from the 29. And Miles Sanders for another 4 or 5 yards. UTSA up 7 on San Diego State. They strike first over the Aztecs. Be sure to go check out my college football bowl season preview as well if you haven't done so already. We'll have 1 tomorrow, 2 again on Thursday. So the same goes. Even though no doubleheader in the NFL, we'll still have Thursday Night Football with TNF. And then it's just that time of year, and hopefully everyone has a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. 3rd down and what? 1.5 yards, 2. After another give up the middle, 3rd and 2 for Philly. Jordan Howard's in the ball game as well. So Philly here early, it seems to me they're working a 2 running back set. They ran a screen the last time they lined up like this. And, of course, the screen went nowhere. But they'll hand off, actually fake the give, and then run it back near side, and Miles Sanders gets an Eagle 1st down, 1st and 10. Yeah, it's the motion man, catch defense off guard, keep them on their heat, and then, work the motion, work the misdirection, play action pass, and then dump it off, and it goes for a good margin, and it's a 1st down. So, see where they spot it at. So it was pushed out of bounds. It'll be 1st and 10, Philly here, under a minute to play. In the first quarter, from the 47, 1st and 10. Fake the give. That's a hold. They run a tight end screen now back near side to Goddard. It's coming back, though, for a hold. There's a penalty on the play. 10 yards, I'll replay it down. 1st and 20 for Philly. 38 seconds here in this first quarter. Yep. There's actually 2 holdings on that play. And they call the one. 1st and 20 now for Philly. This will probably do it for the opening quarter. One final play here. Handoff. And Miles Sanders going to get to the 32-yard line. He's 2nd and 14. Yeah, so. Yep, the turnovers are the difference. They are. This is odd. This is extremely odd once again. Because last year, and a very weird first quarter to say the least too here tonight, but last year we had 3 Monday night doubleheaders. And then we had 2 single Tuesday night matchups with Buffalo and Tennessee and Dallas and Baltimore. All because of COVID. And with COVID doing its thing here again with that damn new variant. And politics aside, even though you can't throw those aside anymore really because that's what it's turned into and about, these games are still being played one way or another. There's too much money on the line. So they postpone them, and here we are again on a Tuesday night watching NFL football. And it's not the preseason, and it's not the 1940s. It's 2021, and 5th time since 48. 48, and then whole way until 2010. It was, I believe, Minnesota and Philly. So Philly's used to playing on Tuesday nights. They're the only 2-time team the past decade to play on a Tuesday. But then we went a good, decade up until last year. Had 2 separate Tuesday matchups. So 48-10, 2 in 2020. That's 4. Even though 5th time, technically 6 games because there's a doubleheader tonight. And last I saw, the Rams were up 3 on the Seahawks in Russell Wilson's first game back against them since he hurt his hand. And has, of course, got surgery, returned, almost beat Washington on Monday night a few weeks back. They didn't do enough early to win that game, even though it did come down the wire. They're on a 2-game winning streak since so, and they need to win. And then both of these teams with Washington and Philly also need to win this game. Now, if they tie, and I hope to God this game does not go to overtime, and then also tie, but, okay, NFL on Tuesday, last time 2 NFL games actually were played on Tuesday was in 1934. 9. Throw your arm up in the air. Eagles beat the Cincinnati Reds, not the baseball team, the football team, 64-0, and the Chicago Cardinals before they moved out to Arizona. They beat the Brooklyn Dodgers and also shut them out. So some crossover with baseball and football, even though those teams were technical football teams. That's just how the naming was, of course, back then. No, but yeah, that's in between World War I and World War II, the last time we had 2 Tuesday games in the NFL. And, I mean, unless you're in your 80s, you're not going to remember that. So they give us that tidbit, and here we go, 3rd down and 9. And from the 47, Jalen Hurts going to tuck it and run, dives head first, and still doesn't get the first down, and they're going to have to punt. Wow. No, do not go for this. Punt, pin them deep, make them drive. Maybe your defense will get a stop, and then it'll get good starting field position on your next drive, and then you can cut it then. Because you still got a lot of time in this game. You don't want to do anything stupid right now. Go down, two and a half scores when you're already down a score and a half just to start the second quarter because you can't hold on to the goddamn fucking football. Just play clock winding down. Unless they snap it right now, which they do, they fake it on an end-around toss, and Jordan Howard does get the first down, so they prove all of us wrong. And us meaning people that, there's a flag on the play, so they're probably going to have to punt in the end anyway, because they're probably going to come back for a hold. And then the boos will continue the officials' way, but yeah, just the simple, basic things, just they are killers. No, but us meaning everybody that said, myself included, that they should have punted, which they're going to have to now anyway. 4th and 2, 10 yards. They're actually going to replay 4th down. Well, you have to. Because if you decline it, you go first down. So it'll be 4th and 12, and now you definitely got to punt. You can't go for this. You barely got it. And then, yeah, Howard, right ankle, got twisted up there at the end. Hopefully he's okay. But, yeah, offense going to come off, punt unit on. Unless they run a fake punt, which I wouldn't do either right now. 4th and 4 with the hold. But still 4th down and they'll punt. And it's going to bounce, guess what? Into the end zone and a touchback. 1st and 10, Washington from the 20 when we return. So not a damn thing. Not one single thing. Hell, they could probably put their Christmas tree up right now if they haven't done so already. And just out of the blue, because it feels like it, if it's a real tree. Now, if it's a fake tree, I don't really care which kind of tree you have in your house to begin with, but it would magically probably re-fucking grow itself out in the wild because it felt like it, because that's what Philly has going for them right now. Nothing. Just the stacks are, the odds are stacked against them, excuse me. Stacked to the ceiling, even higher. But just man, this is not a good start by Philly. But you know what's new? I mean, Eagle fans are going to let them hear whether they're winning or losing anyway. So it's just worse when they're losing. And with the season on the line, and this goes back to not necessarily ownership with Jeffrey Lurie, but like I said, I didn't think they should ever fire Doug Peterson, who's taking this year off, and he's probably going to get a head coaching job somewhere next year. We'll see where. But, you know, with Nick Sirianni, of course, coming over from Indy, and they basically swap him and Carson Wentz in and out. And it's worked out for the Colts because they have a running game with Jonathan Taylor, you know. With what Philly's doing, it's very similar because, of course, with the connections and Sirianni working under Frank Reich, okay, but, man, just, they're down in the dumps right now, in this game at least. And until they get out of the hole they're in, I mean, good luck to begin with. This is just how it's going to be. I talked about special teams, though, earlier. In the end, I feel being the difference. Maybe they get a stop or two, or if they do give up a few more points, maybe they get a good return. And, I mean, man, it's just, if I'm an Eagle fan, I'm not happy right now. I'm pouring myself another, and it's going to be a long-ass night. Yeah. But I'm a Steeler fan, so I don't have to worry about that. Because, I mean, even though they're not much better right now, they're still in a better position to make the playoffs than the Eagles are. But there's still a lot of football left to be played. Okay? That's the thing. There's some, as I'm a Penn State fan too, there's some Penn State and Steeler fans and some Penn State Eagle fans. But I feel all Eagle fans, or excuse me, I think another fumble on the first play of this Washington drive. We'll see who recovers. The Skins do. They'll maintain possession, second down. I feel, for the most part, I don't know why. I guess it might just be that eastern part of PA that, they think Wawa is better than Cheats as well. That all those Penn Staters think you got to like the Eagles. No. You can like whoever the hell you want. And the Eagles have one Super Bowl win. Even though they've won NFL championships, they've one Super Bowl win in 56 years. And they got lucky because of the Philly special. But Tom Brady can't beat NFC East teams come playoff time. So I'll digress on that. Really don't even know where the hell I was going with that either. But yeah, honestly, who was one expecting and then now ready for Tuesday night football in the NFL? Like, other than watching this game, what the hell else are we supposed to talk about? 3rd down and 2 from the 28. Gilbert, incomplete, almost picked off. Should have been caught by McLaurin to begin with, but they get off the field. And that's why you punt. And they got lucky with the hold. Because it backed them up, it forced them to punt, and now they get off the field on defense, and now they're going to get the ball back with some good starting field position. You got to do something new now coming up next on offense. You can't turn it over. And boos are still coming in, regardless if Washington's punting or not. That's a good thing. You got off the field. They almost blocked the punt. Like, Eagle fans are hard to read. They are. Always bitching about something. But at least Jalen Reagor didn't cough it up there. He caught the punt, returned it for a few yards, and they have a 1st and 10 now. So, Jalen Reagor to Eagle fans is just Nelson Aguilar, wearing a different jersey with a different name on the back. Because they both haven't worked out. They're both drafted in the 1st round when they could have had other players over the past 5-6 years. But it starts at the top. It does. You have to have a quarterback in order to win. It's a quarterback-driven league. If in the long run, Carson Wentz, who had an MVP season the year they won the Super Bowl, of course, he got hurt, and Nick Foles stepped in. And, of course, they won the Lombardi. If they, along with now Jalen Hurts and Gardner Minshew and everybody else that has played for the Eagles, not even before McNabb, but other than Jaws, and then they lose to the Raiders in the Super Bowl. Since then, because, talking about Mark Sanchez playing for both these teams, McNabb did as well because they traded him to Washington. They've gone through, Andy Reid won. And I think really, okay, they bring Peterson to work some of that magic because, of course, having worked under him, and now get back to doing the same thing because Frank Reich was the offense coordinator under Peterson, and Sirianni worked for him under the Colts, trying to rework magic once again. I think really it all starts when, went wrong with firing Andy Reid to move on to Chip Kelly, and we saw all that worked out. Because look what Andy Reid's done since. And he finally won a Super Bowl when he should have won one with Philly in 39 against the Patriots. They're consistent. But when they're playing bad, not anything going their way, they're in the hole. Good luck getting out once again. But you got to love Philly fans, though, too, because they're some, if not the most diehard fans in the league. And now weather is going to play a factor. It's starting to rain. So maybe if it does get a little colder and the snow does, in fact, start to fall, and the Washington football team here keeps putting it to them, yeah, Santa, you might want to run. Because they're going to end up hitting you with some white stuff. We got another loose ball and a fumble. I think they're going to roll him down, though, after a yard gain. No fumble. Be second down and 9. Oh, they could even, well, the vet's not open anymore, of course. It's a parking lot now. But take you down, lock you up under the stadium for the night, and charge you with this or charge you with that, and have a Merry Christmas. But no, just got an injured player as well now, too. Just one thing good goes for them, and then they can't maintain it. They can't bounce back. Because even though they've made the playoffs since, and I get each team's different. They're still not, and nothing is anymore the same as what it once was, but still, when you have something good going for yourself, and then you want to change to get ahead of as Hurts going to go deep, and Dallas Goedert catches that, but somehow he can't catch a simple 5-yard completion, and then it's an interception, and then a touchdown for Washington. So there's another big play. So a few deep shots, a few big explosive plays. And they had a man wide open, another tight end down the middle of the field too. But Hurts decided to throw into double coverage, and somehow he came down with it. So credit where credit's due. They'll have first and 10, what, at the 32-yard line? First and 10. You got to capitalize off this, though, now. You got to score points. From the 31, first and 10, you got to score some points here. 10-10 and counting play in this first half, and you trail by 10. They're going to run an option. What was it, Zach Mills to Larry Johnson? 4 yards. And be second down and 6. Hurts, of course, played at Alabama. Was the first with him, 2, and Mac Jones of the 3. And then, of course, he transfers to Oklahoma. Became the third of 3 behind Baker and Kyler to not win the Heisman or not go number 1 in the draft. But Philly takes him in the second round a few years back. And, he's played well, He's going to hand off Miles Sanders, and he's off to the races. Nice stiff arm, pushed out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. So that now they got a first and goal. You got to score. You got to score a touchdown here. You cannot settle for 3. Even though you still take the points, if it comes down to it, you got to score a touchdown here. And LA's still up 3 on Seattle as they're also in the second quarter here. They'll run a bubble screen near side. Jalen Reagor, he's going to dive for the pylon, be brought down about a yard short. Be second and goal from the 2. At least he caught it. Any other pass thrown his way, it's a drop. Yep. Second and goal, Philly. And Washington's going to call a timeout in the meantime. So they're first. They'll have 2 remaining. Philly still with 3. 8:55 to play in this first half. 2-minute warning to come. But Philly in the meantime as they trail by 10. And those 10 points for Washington off of 2 Philadelphia Eagle turnovers. So we'd be tied right now at 0 still for the most part probably. If you think about it, unless Washington with their good drive is still able to drive and score. Philly could be taking the lead right now. Or even extending the lead, but they're going to try to cut it before halftime. So, because arguably they probably should have a few points of their own, as mentioned earlier, but they turned it over, which you can't do. Crucial game like this, playoff hopes on the line. You got to score a touchdown right now. And, of course, 4th and goal, 2 plays from now, if it comes down to it, and you still don't have any points, yeah, they're going to hammer to go for it, but you got to kick it because you got to take the points. Sanders, nowhere for him to go, 3rd and goal from the 2, because if you don't take the points and you go for it and don't get it, and then they drive on you and they send their lead even more, and you're even in a bigger hole than you are now, good luck once again. Like, because if you kick it, you're down 7 rather than 10, and then another stop on defense. You play with momentum. You play with how the game is going. You play field position. You play good defense. Believe me, in the end, you run the ball and play good defense, it's going to work itself out as long as you can capitalize off turnovers. They might have jumped off sides. There's no penalty. Empty set, 5 wide. Hurts, back of the end zone, incomplete. So now they got a 4th and goal. I don't know what kind of fucking play that was, but now we got an injured Eagle. That's Devontae Smith landing hard on that cold ground here tonight. But I don't like fades. I don't. Especially in a double coverage. And then, yeah, he hit hard on his back coming down. Almost Odell Beckham Jr. did. Still wouldn't have been in bounds if he would have caught it anyway, so still would have been incomplete after all that. And just not that bad of a play call, but a stupid decision by Jalen Hurts. 4th and goal, you got to kick it. And they will here, it looks like, because Hurts and the offense are off the field. So another chip shot. Washington was good from 22 yards out. Here's a 20-yard field goal from Jake Elliott, who has a leg on him. And that kick's going to be up and good. So they do cut the lead. It's 10-3. Mixed reaction from the crowd, it sounds like. Hey, shut the hell up. You got points. It's the best drive of the game so far for you. You know? Like, could be worse than it is. You could be down by even more. Still could be down only 10. But could be a hell of a lot better if you don't turn the ball over, if you would have scored a touchdown on that drive. So, I mean, just imagine. Philly doesn't turn the ball over those 2 times. They score there. I mean, it's totally opposite compared to what it is now. You know, unless Washington, once again, is still able to drive and score, which they've looked all right on offense, so give them a few points. I don't know how many, but a few points. You know, it's probably 10-3 Philly, 17-3, 17-7 Philly somewhere, that neck of the woods. But it's 10-3 Washington, so Skins will get the ball back when we return. 1st and 10 with a 7-point lead. What do we got here stat-wise with about 8 minutes to play in the first half? Hurts now 7-9, a $118 passing. Has an interception that they capitalize on. He doesn't throw that pick, which that was a very odd, weird play. You know, hit off the back of the heel of Goddard and caught, and then they drove 30 yards and scored a touchdown. He doesn't throw the interception there. They have the field goal, hypothetically speaking, and then Philly has the field goal. We're tied at 3, you know, because even the fumble, they were still able to capitalize on. That's why they have 10 points. So you don't turn it over at all, and whether you give them a few points or not, and then you don't score, you still have a 3-point lead right now. So that's how close it is. It's 1-2 things. It's the basics. It's the little things that make a difference. Believe me. So we'll see how this plays out. But Miles Sanders, not bad. 10 carries, 51 yards rushing. Needs to be 10 times better than what it is, though. Because that stat right there really ain't saying much, because even 10 carries, 51 yards rushing, it doesn't seem like it on the field. Not to me personally right now, it doesn't. But rain's starting to fall. And if, you know, the weather gets any worse, already a few turnovers without the weather, just wait. And it's going to turn more into a defensive game with maybe an explosive player too, whether that's on offense, defense, and or special teams as well, that in the end might be the difference in this game. So 8:08 to play, and we'll have a touchback on the kick. 1st and 10, Washington from the 25-yard line. So yeah, Hurts is 7-9 passing. has 2 carries, 13 yards rushing, but 118 yards passing, and the interception. Booby Miles Sanders, 10 for 51 on the ground. And then Goddard with a couple catches here, 2 for 64. Should have had the one that was the interception, though, but dropped it. And then just weird because he kept running and the ball fell and just hit the back of his heel. And without replay, nobody in the crowd, us watching, unless you have perfect 20/20 vision, would have saw that. Only the players and the coaches, along with the officials, would have made the call, which they did, and they got it right. And then Washington scored 5 yards on the completion near side, second down and median for Washington. Yeah, Goddard has 2 catches, 64 yards. Miles Sanders 2 for 15. Devontae Smith, hopefully he's okay. Once again with his robot arm, went down there hard on the incompletion in the end zone before the field goal. He has 2 catches, 33 yards. Rager finally caught a football, 1 catch, 6 yards. 2nd and 5 though for Washington. And Antonio Gibson for 5 up the middle. So he's going to have about 9 carries, 30 yards rushing now in the score. Whereas with Garrett Gilbert, who ain't playing bad, 5 of 9, 83 yards passing. And 46 of those to Terry McLaurin, and the other 25, 3rd and 1. Eagles defense going to get off the field. They make a stop, and, they're right back in this. Washington's going to have to punt. So now it's a tale of the first 2 quarters with Washington with a 10-point lead. Now Philly's storming back. But yeah, 46 and then 25 of those 83, plus another 12 to Humphreys and Carter, have gone to Terry McLaurin and Antonio Gibson out of the backfield in the screen game. But they can't even take about a minute and a half off the clock, and Washington's going to have to punt with a 7-point, 10-3 lead here. 6 minutes and change to play before halftime. And Philly call fair catch at the 23-yard line, 1st and 10. They'll have Rey Mysterio 6-1-9 and 3 timeouts, plus a 2-minute warning to try to drive and score and tie this game up before halftime, as they give us an NFC playoff picture, which we'll dive more into a little bit later on. Yeah, the winner of this game will be the 7 seed. There's 2 7-7 teams. We'll have 3 after tonight, not the 4 in the AFC. But with Minnesota's win last night, and then whoever wins tonight, New Orleans gets screwed, and they're going to be dropping in the end anyway, it seems like. And then they host Miami next Monday. And the winner in that matchup, which we'll also have live watch-along reactions of live here on YouTube, is going to be done for, as is this winner. And Seattle loses 2, also done for. Deep ball intended for Devontae Smith down the middle of the field, incomplete, 2nd down and 10. So once again, with the playoff picture, it's going to be an interesting next couple weeks. But as always, with myself, your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cool and Luke 96, we'll have live watch-along reactions live here on YouTube, so be sure to tune back in. Yeah. A little underthrown by Hurts, incomplete, 2nd down and 10. Second and 10 from the 23. And Hurts complete to Dallas Goedert, who has stepped up and become that true number 1 tight end. Of course, after they traded Zach Ertz to Arizona. And in some injury updates, injury news, Washington did actually what Dallas did last week to them, and they brought their home benches on the road with them so they could stay warm on the damn sideline. 3rd down and 5 from the 28. I don't know why more teams actually don't do that. I mean, it's really been blown out of proportion, so it's not really that big of a deal. But you gotta do sometimes. 1st and 10 after the completion to Goddard over the middle. Keep it simple. Check it down to your tight end, and he does just that in the 1st down for Philly. UTSA extends their lead after San Diego State just tied up 7, now 14-7. And now Hurts complete to Jalen Reagor, and with about 5 minutes to play in this first half, another good drive, and Philly's looking to tie this game up. When they actually do a little behind on the pass, but Reagor able to find the football and comes out with it. When they do have something good going for them, just in the end, how long is it going to be before it collapses, though? Because eventually, as they'll hand off, and Jordan Howard, he'll get 9.5, maybe 10 yards on that run. Because, I mean, really, with how this game is played out now, this game might come down to whoever the hell has the ball last. And if they score, they win. Because Washington in the first quarter, Philly in the second quarter, do it in the third and fourth as well, and even's better than odds, so they're split right now, but Philly still trails by 7. Got some movement up front. We'll see if they say false start or offsides. They'll say false start, back them up 5. Be second down and 6 for the Philadelphia Eagles. 4:04 to play in the first half, so they'll replay the down. Second and 6. Second down and 6 from the 43. You got to score again on this drive. Well, as good as it's going, you got to score again on this drive. Do not take a sack. Hurts going to air it out. Caught by, guess who? Dallas Goedert. He's making up for that drop on the opening drive that resulted in an interception off the back of his heel. And, of course, Washington scored. Don't. Well, it's 3-3, and then you're looking to take a lead right now rather than tie it up. So, checking it down. Just get the hell open if you're a receiver. Quarterback's eventually going to find you. And now we've got an injured player again. Keith Jackson is playing football in 2021. Yeah, I wonder what Gardner Minshew's thinking right now. I mean, what a 10, 12 minutes it's been for him, because at that end of the first quarter, he was probably thinking, get me in there. You know, I'll come back and save the team. Whereas now Hurts is putting it to the Washington defense in the second quarter and, you know, go sit back down. So, of course, Hurts, along with Minshew, they both had good college careers. As did Garrett Gilbert. Talked about him a little bit ago. Yeah, he was at Texas, transferred to another Texas school. Drawing a blank on which one, but you know, he's bounced around the league. He's played in the developmental leagues as well recently, as mentioned earlier. But if you take pressure off him, he's reliable. He can get the job done. You know, Minshew, of course, drafted by Jacksonville. He gets traded by Urban back in the preseason. Of course, Philly, at that point in time, they were, after, of course, trading Carson Wentz in the offseason to Indy, having some quarterback, not issues, but, and not even a dilemma compared to what it is now, but, you know, who is going to be with Jalen Hurts, you know? And, you know, we find out it's Minshew. And he's played his way because of injury into the lineup a few times. Well, actually just the one time 2 weeks ago. And, you if this keeps up, they're all right, okay. Like, you you can continue to build around him rather than because I mean, there's talk right now. I know damn well in the Philly media, and I'm sure ownership is thinking about it a little bit too. Come for agency in the draft time, well, if we're gonna have a chance to get a better quarterback, why the hell not? But we'll see what happens. We'll see what the future holds. Second down and 6, and Sanders on the run to the 14.5, 15-yard line. And the third down is short, third and about 3. So rain really coming down, and it's Bubba Gump style. It's from the sky, from the ground, side to side. It's all over the place. You can't really tell with how good TVs are anymore, but it's really raining. Third down and 2, handoff up the middle, and Philly is going to have a first and goal at the 4-yard line. Another run by Boobie Miles, which will take us a 2-minute warning. Minute 56 to play in the first half. Philly looking to try to tie this game up at 10 as Miles now 13 for everyone's favorite number other than 420 for 69 yards rushing. So, yeah, it's a tale of two quarters right now with this matchup. It is. It really is. I mean, at least they're doing enough right now in this first half to keep themselves in it. If it does come down fourth quarter, which it will, believe me, it will, with how this game's going right now. It's going to be close down to the wire. Whereas yesterday, Cleveland didn't do enough early in the first half, even though they came back and, took the lead. Derek Carr still got him in field range. That's the thing with Washington on the road, a non-experienced quarterback, whether he's playing as good as he is, when the game's on the line, can he get him in a situation, to potentially win the game when it comes down to it? That's going to be another topic of discussion, potentially. We'll see. But, I mean, of the two games, because LA, once again, last I checked, is still only leading the Seattle Seahawks 3-0. So this game of the two tonight, I'd feel safe to say is the better of the two. Seahawks actually tied at 3, so 3-3 now. They're actually almost at halftime. They only have a few seconds left here in the first half, whereas we just hit the 2-minute warning. But, okay, the refs huddled up there with that interception, the challenge. Yeah, time-wise, just a few seconds or so behind, I'd say. Because technically we are, but got a good one on our hands for some Tuesday night football. For only the 5th time, even though it's the 6th technical game with the 2 tonight since 1948, and they had said earlier as well, for the first time since 1934, first time there's 2 NFL games being played on Tuesday. So, and that was when now baseball teams had football names, but got a few different Santa Clauses in the stands, whether they're wearing red or green, not for their respective teams, but it is the holiday season. Hopefully everyone has a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Hurt's going to keep it on 1st and goal and then dives for the goal line head first. He's going to be short at the inch line. Be 2nd and goal. I got to hurry up and sneak it. Catch him off guard. Same time, under 2 minutes to play now, Washington with 3 timeouts. 2 timeouts, Philly with 3. Yeah, he's down short. You don't want to give them any time. And I can understand these boos from the crowd. Whether he's actually injured or not, you never want to assume, because you know what they say when you assume, but he might be cramping up for all we know. He might actually be hurt. I don't know. It doesn't look like it. They're going to have to burn a timeout there. They'll have 1 left now. But another Washington Redskin down on the field. Of course, as fans would say, stalling the drive, and that's why they're booing. But you don't want to give them, a lot of time to be able to try to drive and score, but with a minute and a half and a timeout, and a, unexperienced quarterback, I doubt they'd be able to hardly do anything anyway. So, I mean, unless they don't score here and they kick a field goal, we're probably going to be tied at 10 at the half. But it's been a tale of two quarters with Washington and Philly, and a lot of boos from the crowd, as expected with Eagle fans, with Philly sport fans in general. Second down and goal. Second down and goal from the inch line. Bring the Hogs in. And Hurts under center. Motion man. He'll sneak it, and he'll get in. Touchdown Philadelphia. And we're an extra point away from a tie game. 10-9. Make it 10-10 with a minute and a half to play in the first half. And we're going to take this game into the second half and once again have a good one on our hands. Hopefully some security are allowing fans to take some pictures and video, especially of that touchdown to tie this game up. But I'll digress. If you know, you know. Field goal attempt to come. Actually, they're going to go for two. Why the fuck are you going to go for two? Take this with analytics. Now, you're a genius if you get it. You're up 11-10, and we have an odd score then with an odd game. But if you don't get it, you're down, and then, that 1 point might be the difference in the end, and that's why you might lose and your season might be over with. You kick it here. You kick the extra point and tie it up. They're going to try to draw them off sides, call a timeout, or delay a game. They call a timeout. You kick it. Why do you go for two here? Your name's not John Harbaugh and the Baltimore Ravens, even though they're not close or far away. They're close by, just down the road. But you don't want to lose 3 in a row like the Ravens have. Total of 4 points. 2-1 against the Steelers and Packers. And whether you recovered an onside kick against the Browns or not, you still lost by 2. You kick this extra point. You do not go for 2 here. They're going to call timeout and kick it. Because you have something good going for yourself now. Don't screw it up. As mentioned earlier, getting a little far ahead of yourself. Calm down. Keep it simple. Now watch. He'll miss this. And then they're going to boo even more. Go for fucking 2. No, kicks up and good. 10-10. We're tied at 10 with 1:29 to play in this first half. Washington's going to get it with 1 timeout. And that time remaining to do something before halftime. And then, trying to remember who's going to get the ball to begin the second half. If anyone knows, let me know in the comments below. Should be Philly because they kicked off, did they not, to begin the game? But the Eagles, E-A-G-L-E-S, tied up at 10-10 with 1.5 minutes to play in the first half. I'd play it safe, but you got to find some momentum in the second half, no doubt about it. Keep it balanced, run it, but if you're going to throw it, you better get the hell out of bounds. Or be aware of, get up and spike it. Philly kicks off. And a return from the goal line. Here we go. Out past the 20, 25, 30. Washington on the return, out past the 40. 45 to the 47-yard line, 1st and 10. So great starting field position, 1:20 and timeout. They don't get points for the most part. Just a field goal would be a disappointment. And then we got a hold on the return, so they're going to back themselves up. You can still get a field goal, okay. I mean, holding hurts you, but you can still get a field goal on this drive, I think. 10 yards from the end of the run or 10 yards from the spot of the foul. That's the difference. Where's the ball at? Looks like around the 30-yard line, 35-yard line, 1st and 10. So as the rain continues to fall, Washington, 1st and 10 from the 30. Gilbert out of the gun, runs a screen to Gibson, and he'll get 2 yards. He's 2nd down and 8. Gets out of bounds, though. Clock stops, minute 14, so got timeout. Yeah, Philly's going to get the ball to begin the second half. Second down and 8. From the 31-yard line, trips near side. Gilbert. It'll be complete, and no, he's going to be short. I was going to say there for a second. He should have enough for first down, but be 3rd down and short. 3rd and 2, yeah. Now if Philly can get off the field on defense, call timeout, have a timeout, and yeah, you have to drive the line to the field, but sometime maybe do something yourself. But meantime, McLaurin catches that, and they get a first down, so this drive's going to continue. Be 1st and 10 for Washington, 41 seconds. And, yeah, you should be able to get a field goal. Washington's going to call the 3rd and final timeout, though. So you got to get out of bounds. And you got to get up there and spike it if it comes down to it. Just don't do anything stupid. Don't turn the damn ball over. It's been a crazy week in the NFL. With all the postponements, with some of the outcomes, which we'll get to. We'll have first half stats and scores coming through half, but we'll see how this first half ends first off, and then we'll get into all that. So, 1st and 10, Washington.
Trending in the right direction, that's penalty-wise, that's COVID-wise. And they sure are going the wrong direction.
And from the 43-yard line, Garrett Gilbert, a little high on the screen, but Ricky Seals-Jones, the tight end, able to come down with it, and he gets another first down. You got to go. You have no timeouts. Clock's running. They're going to run a play. You need about another probably 15 yards. Gilbert going to roll it. You cannot take a sack, which he does. They're not going to have any time. Clock's going to run out on him. You might have 1 second if you get back and spike it here, but they're going to let the clock roll. You cannot take a sack. Throw the damn football away. And that'll do it for the first half. We're tied at 10. With the Washington football team, formerly known as Redskins and Philadelphia Eagles, here this Tuesday night to close out Week 15 of the National Football League. 10-10.5. Cannot take a sack in that situation. And that's the, inexperience. Even with the Eagles, 2 turnovers. I mean, just think, they don't turn the ball over. And with what Washington's done since they scored and went up 10-0, because they've done jack shit since. I mean, this game could be a blowout right now, and Philly's up, 20-plus, rather than tied at 10.5. But they have the momentum, and they're at home. Crowd's already into it, booing this, booing that, regardless if it's in their favor or not, as always. But once again, with Philly sport fans, which they are, they're aggressive. They're in the game. They really, you think about it, think they're the ones coaching and playing. But don't we all? We're all fans. And, they're one of the most diehard fan bases in the league, no doubt about it. But Philly's going to have momentum in the second half if they keep it up on defense. Because Miles Sanders at the half, they found a running game with him. He has 13 carries, 69 yards rushing. Okay? Washington, of course, Garrett Gilbert, quarterback. 9-13, $105. He just went down for the first time in the sack. What's keeping Washington in this game is not turning the ball over and being able to capitalize off a turnover or 2, which they did for both, and 10 points. Because if not, really, they don't have anything to show for it. So they're lucky for those turnovers. Whereas Philly, once again, even though they're tied at 10 now, coming back tied up, been tailed 2 quarters in this first half, they could be up even more than what they are, but they're tied. So with Philly, if they continue to run the football, just don't do anything stupid, don't turn it over again, for the most part, I would think you're going to be able to find a way to win when it comes down to it. Now, will they cover? I don't know. They're a 9.5-point favorite. 9.5 is a lot of points. But because of the COVID situation with these teams having those issues and the games being postponed because of them, yeah, that's why those point spreads have doubled, if not tripled, since the original lines came out for these games this week. But for Washington, just continue to take the pressure off of Garrett Gilbert. Find a running game with Gibson. He only has 9 carries, 23 yards, even though he does have the rushing touchdown. So we have 2 rushing touchdowns and 2 field goals by both teams. 10-10 at the half. Washington, they're going to have to play on defense like they did in the first quarter the rest of the way. Because if not, Philly's just going to make it look easy, drive the ball in their ass, and just... I mean, I'm not necessarily saying this game could get ugly, but it could get out of reach for Washington if Philly keeps up with how they played in that second quarter to get back in this game. But vice versa, same goes, because, like I said, tail 2 quarters in the first half, same could go in this third and fourth quarter in this second half. So we'll see how it plays out. But we got a halftime update now from the studio. In the meantime, though, at halftime with Washington and Philadelphia, tied at 10 at the half. And once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. As always, I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cooley Luke 96. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Hit that thumbs up button. Share hashtag NFL. Hashtag whatever the hell the hashtag is for Washington. I believe it's Washington football, but hashtag Redskins, as it has in the description. That's what they're formerly known as. And they still don't have a team name. They're the Washington football team. They'll have a new nickname hopefully next year, so they say, but we'll see. And then also hashtag Eagles. Hashtag was for Washington, WAS, versus Phil minus the L, PHI for Philadelphia for that game. Hashtag WAS versus PHI. Be sure to share on social media, chat questions and comments, super chats, super stickers, always greatly appreciated. Coming up here shortly, we're going to recap Week 15, preview Week 16. But right now, first half stats and scores is Garrett Gilbert is 9 of 13 for 105 yards passing. We got an update with the score because there's really no highlights to be shown with Seattle and LA. Seahawks and Rams are tied at 3 now, early third quarter. So it looks like that game will end before this one. Well, in the end, who knows? Because of a delay or two. Actually, they're showing a highlight now. I guess Stafford threw an interception. We might get bonus coverage if, say, we'd end early and that game's still on. I would think Fox would, switch it one way or another. Depends on your market, where you're watching this game from. But 3-3, Seahawks Rams right now. 10-10, Skins and Eagles right now. Garrett Gilbert, once again, 9 of 13, 105 yards passing. Gibson has 9 carries, 23 yards rushing, and a touchdown. And then Terry McLaurin, 2 catches, 51 yards receiving. Gibson has 3 for 26 out of the backfield. And then Ricky Seals-Jones has stepped up at tight end, following Logan Thomas's injury a few weeks back. He has 2 catches, 16 yards. Jalen Hurts, though, he's put the team on his back right now. He has. He's led them back to tie this game up at halftime. He's 11 of 14, 169 yards passing. Does have the interception, okay, which they scored a touchdown on. And then the fumble on the sack, they kicked the field goal. So he doesn't turn the ball over, and then he does what he has done since to tie this game back up at 10. And then if Washington doesn't do anything, which they really haven't, other than capitalize off turnovers, you got a 10-point lead right now, 10-0 for Philadelphia, but we're tied at 10. Hurts also has 4 carries, 17 yards rushing, and a touchdown. Quarterback sneak, but still touchdown. Jordan Howard, 2 of 16, but Miles Sanders, Penn Stater, he has 13 carries, 69 yards rushing. Dallas Goedert should have 6 catches, but he has 5. That was the interception. Of course, it was a weird play. It bounced off the back of his heel. Dallas Goedert, 5 catches, 98 yards receiving in the first half. By tight end, that's impressive. Devontae Smith, 2 for 33. Jalen Reagor, 2 for 23. And then Miles Sanders also has 2 catches, 15 yards out of the backfield as well. But Week 15 began last Thursday, almost a week ago now. Okay? Hard to believe, but we had the Chiefs and Chargers. Live stream wise, we had that game. We had Saturday night, game Sunday, doubleheader yesterday, and now tonight as well. And even the 3 prior games to that, back to last Monday night with the Rams and Cardinals, the day prior, that game almost went to overtime, as did Chiefs Chargers. We'll update scores here in a second. Bills Buccaneers with the Tampa Bay win before they got shut out on Sunday night this week against the Saints. And then even the Thursday before, almost 2 weeks ago now, seems like forever ago, but Minnesota almost blew that 20-0 lead against the Steelers as Pittsburgh came back, but they still lost by 8, 36-28. What I'm getting at is all those games came down to the wire, all came down to the final play of the game, as did yesterday with the Raiders and Browns. And then we stuck with it, of course, until halftime. And Minnesota only had to score another 7 points because Chicago, with their field goal, that's all they had in a 17-3 loss. But right now, Week 15 at halftime, this Tuesday night doubleheader, both the Seahawks and Rams, along with the Washington football team and the Philadelphia Eagles, are tied 3-3 and 10-10. But Week 15 began once again last Thursday night out in LA. So they go from Thursday night to Tuesday night in the NFL with primetime NFL action with a bowl game in between on Saturday night. Chiefs with the win in overtime against the Chargers, 34-28, because the Chargers, whether they don't know how to or don't want to, they didn't kick any goddamn field goals, and that's lost them the game. They kick at least 1, if not 2 of those field goals, that game doesn't even go to overtime. But they didn't kick it the 3 or 4 times they had the chance to, and they deserved to lose, and they did. The Kansas City Chiefs won 34-28 in overtime. They got a lot of COVID issues now, I guess. They're going to host Pittsburgh for the time being on Sunday afternoon, but as we just saw this past Friday for the Raider-Brown game, it was supposed to be Saturday. They postponed that, of course, yesterday, Monday afternoon at 5 o'clock, and then these 2 games right now that are supposed to play on Sunday, postpone those to tonight, Tuesday. So, from now to the end of the week, of course, Christmas Eve and Christmas on Friday and Saturday respectfully, and hopefully everyone has a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Who knows? We might have a few more games moved around with more postponements and, played at a later date, but we'll see how it plays out. But, Week 15 began last Thursday with the Chiefs picking up the road overtime win, and then also taking over the number 1 seed in the AFC playoffs as well with a 34-28 win over the Chargers. Saturday Night Football, the Colts ran Jonathan Taylor to victory 27-17 over the New England Patriots. I thought Mac Jones' second interception on his first, because they didn't capitalize off the first. The first pick early third quarter, that's what ended up being the difference. Because even with the Jonathan Taylor touchdown late, as mentioned during that stream, be sure to go check out all the videos right here on the YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. But even with that late touchdown by JT, if New England drives and scores a touchdown, they tie the game up, if not win it, and, it's a different outcome. But Colts won 27-17. Both those teams are still in the playoff mix right now. New England, they're going to host Buffalo on Sunday. Of course, a few weeks back on Monday night, we saw how that went for the Bills' defense against the run. Weather really shouldn't be a factor compared to as much as it was when they met just recently. But the Patriots are still atop the AFC East, whereas the Colts are in the first wild card spot ahead of the Chargers and Bills. Speaking of the Bills, they beat Carolina on Sunday 31-14. The Lions picked up their second win of the season. As mentioned earlier, their record is they're better than what their record shows. Their record is 2-11-1. The tie, of course, the Steelers, and with that tie for Pittsburgh, it's once again still depending on the situation for the time being. Still a lot of football left, though, and if the Black and Gold take care of business, potentially get some help on top of it, should be all right. It's helping but also hurting. But they gave the Cardinals their first road loss of the year, and Detroit picked up a 30-12 win. The Dolphins swept the Jets 31-24. The other NFC East matchup this week was Dallas and New York. The Cowboys, as they beat Washington last Sunday, and then of course Philly coming off of bye. The Cowboys almost blew it because they got away from the run, and Prescott threw that pick six, and Washington made it a game late, and now they're blowing it, allowing Philly to tie it up at 10. As we're about to begin the second half here, it looks like. But Dallas beat the Giants 21-6 on Sunday. Also on Sunday, the Steelers in the second half shut out the Tennessee Titans and scored 16 unanswered. Came back and found a way to win 19-13 over the Titans. The Houston Texans, speaking of sweeping and whether or not Urban Meyer's head coach or not, the Jaguars still lose. And Houston with a 14-point 30-16 win over Duval. The Bengals beat the Broncos 15-10. The 49ers also beat the Falcons 31-13. Because of going for two, John Harbaugh and the Ravens lost again. Lost by 1 to Pittsburgh 2019, 2 weeks ago. Lost to Cleveland last week by 2, 22-20. And then on Sunday at home, losing to Green Bay by 1, 31-30. So they're 0-3 the last 3 weeks. Have lost 3 in a row. And all 3 games, by a total of 4 points, and 2 losses by 1. So they're still in it. They're right now on the outside looking in, to be honest with you. When really they probably should be leading in the division, but because of some stupidity and deciding to go for 2 all the damn time anymore because the analytics say so, who the hell cares what this piece of paper says? Do what you want to do, which I get, and that's what they decided to do. But in the end, was it smart? No. And it cost you 3 separate games, and you lost all 3. And then also on Sunday, the Saints blanked the Bucs. Tom Brady's first shutout in 15 years. New Orleans with a 9-0 win over Tampa Bay. They have some injury issues now, as mentioned earlier. See what the future holds for both those teams. Tampa's probably still going to win the division. New Orleans is going to fight for a wild card. They'll host the Dolphins next Monday night. And speaking of Monday Night Football, from the doubleheader from yesterday, we had the Raiders kick another game-winning field goal on the road. This time around against the Cleveland Browns in the win 16-14. And then Minnesota last night in the original one and only Monday night game for the week. Because the Raiders-Browns were supposed to play Saturday, postponed. Here we are with these 2 games tonight because they're postponed as well because of COVID. Vikings win by 8, and they cover as they're an 8-point favorite. 17-9. Or, excuse me, they're a 7-point favorite. They win by 8. That's what I meant to say. Yeah. They win by 8 as a 7-point favorite, so that could have been a bad beat. Very well could have been a bad beat. Because the Bears scored on the last play of the game, if you watched that game. But they didn't kick the extra point because time had expired. So, yeah, Minnesota, 17-9, the win. I'll say it again. They were a 7-point favorite, and they won by 8, so they cover. But Philly on this opening drive, as here tonight on Tuesday Night Football now. As the Seahawks score, they're up 10-3 now on the Rams. Philadelphia. Fast. First and goal from the 2, and it's going to be dropped in the end zone incomplete. First play, second play of this drive out of halftime. A fumble, but he was down. Drive stays alive. They continue it, and they've been able to march downfield like nothing here this first 2.5 into this third quarter. And now they have a second and goal at the 2-yard line. Second and goal at the 2 for the Eagles to take the lead. And they'll have a quartet top of your screen, and another quarterback sneak for Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts with another rushing touchdown. Eagles take the lead 16-10, pending the upcoming extra point. They're going to try to control the second half now, it seems like. And why not? Game's not over until it's over. As long as you can find a way and come back and win this game, so be it. Washington, though, I mean, they snuck into the playoffs last year and won the division. This year, steady, but with how they started tonight, it's all gone downhill for them quick. Or in the meantime, the Eagles have reached the peak and have taken the lead. And they lead by 7 now, 17-10, 12:26 to play in this third quarter. Both these teams now next week. Washington's going to play Dallas on the road next Sunday night. And the Eagles will host the Giants. But week 16 will begin on Thursday Night Football. We'll have the 49ers and Titans from Music City. A doubleheader on Christmas, and potentially a white Christmas from Lambeau Field in Green Bay, as snow is in fact in the forecast, so I've heard. Browns and Packers, and Cleveland should get Baker Mayfield back, so that game should be pretty good. Colts Cardinals in the nightcap on Christmas as well. Hopefully everyone has a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year once again. Next Sunday and then Monday as well, and then depending on with the COVID situation. With the NHL shutting down right now, NBA says they're not going to. We've had a few cancellations in college basketball. NHL players now saying they're not going to go to the Olympics come February, as the Super Bowl will be 10 days after that starts, mid-February, Valentine's Day weekend. But we're going to roll on with these cultural bowl games and the NFL, because these games are going to get played one way or another, whether people like it or not. But next Sunday, we'll have Lions, Falcons, Ravens, Bengals, the Rams, who are trailing Seattle right now. They'll head to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. Bills, Patriots, Jaguars, Jets. Somebody's going to have to win that game, unfortunately. Giants, Eagles, Bucks, Panthers, Chargers, Seahawks. The Seahawks, or Chargers, Texans, excuse me. Bears, Seahawks. If Seattle wins tonight, they're definitely going to beat the Bears next week. 6-8, 7-8 with 2 weeks to go. Potentially making a run at it. Sneaking in, maybe make a run in the playoffs. Seattle's going to be the team to keep an eye on. Because everybody counted them out when Russell Wilson went down. Because he was out for how long and came back. And they still couldn't win. But they're hot right now. Keep an eye on Seattle. They'll host the Bears next Sunday. Steelers, Chiefs, Broncos, Raiders. Washington will head to Dallas next Sunday night with Santa Snoop. And then Dolphins and Saints on Monday Night Football. And another, winner go home situation with this playoff picture. So that's your first half stats and scores, your recap, and your preview for this week and next week, respectively. But once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. on social media. Links in the description below. And after the opening drive touchdown to begin this third quarter for the Eagles to take the lead at 17-10, here comes the Washington football team. The Redskins down by 7. Early third quarter. Garrett Gilbert in at quarterback, 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. And UTSA and San Diego State, in the meantime, tied at 14. In the Frisco Bowl, they run a screen. It's going to be picked off. Eagles ball, 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line. And now, if they can capitalize off of this, very good starting field position. But because of the inexperienced quarterback and a turnover, and you're hot right now, you have all the momentum in the world. Don't let it slip away. Philly, you can put this game away here soon. Gibson actually got tripped by who he was blocking. And it's an interception on the field. No late hit. Good no call. And was an interception. He caught it. Bobbled it. Ball moved a little bit. That's going to fall incomplete, I bet. After review, it's incomplete. So then you have to look at it from above. At least the refs on the field are taking it in their own hands. And, I mean, that's 2 interceptions here tonight. The first by Jalen Hurts. Hit off the back of the heel of Dallas Goedert, and it was a pick. That, the screen, it's caught but then bobbled and dropped, even though they rolled it on the field, an interception. They overturn it even before it goes to review. So a good decision. It's incomplete. Washington going to have to fight through this adversity, though, right now. Philly's still in position, though. If they can get another turnover, or hell, even get off the field, score on the next drive, they're in a spot right now, I think, still, even though only early third quarter, chance to put this game away. Because, like I said, once again, they have all the momentum in the world right now. They do. And, you know, the first 15 minutes, I sure as hell wasn't saying that. I don't even think anybody was believing that they'd have a chance to, you know, get back in this ball game. But it is a 60-minute game. It's not over until it's over. But just how they had started. So how you start, that's how you finish. You know, there wasn't a damn thing going for them with how Washington was playing, you know, until now. Like, they looked like they're going to run away with it, potentially, but they fell off the cliff. Philly's taken over. Gilbert gets rid of it, and it's incomplete on 3rd and 11, and just like that, a few more seconds tick off. They're still going to have to give the ball back to him anyway. 4th down on a punt, and, I mean, it's really just the field position now. But 1st and 10, Philly, bearing any turnover by them. And, I mean, with how Washington's playing, I think this 7-point lead would probably, in the end, be enough to win you the game. But, of course, you'd still like to score a few more points. Field goal, even a touchdown, let alone any more points on top of that, should be plenty for Philly to hold on to winning this game right now. But we still have 11:31 to play in this third quarter, plus another full 15 in the fourth. But in the meantime, we're going to take a commercial break here with the Eagles on top, 17-10 on the Washington football team, the Redskins. Here on Fox, also on Fox, the Rams tied up at 10. So 10-10 with Seattle and the Rams out in L.A. And then, well, we just had 10-10 here, but Philly drove and scored on their opening drive to begin the third quarter. So with those, I mean, they threw the pick. They capitalized on their first drive of the game. They drive and score on their opening drive the second half, and they almost get an interception on Washington's opening drive. It was clearly incomplete, though. They get off the field and they force a punt on 1st and 10. So, and with a lead, you're running the ball well with Miles Sanders. Continue to do that. You're going to be all right. You're going to be perfectly fine. Continue to run the ball, play good defense, score from the points. Philly's going to win this game. Philly's going to win this game. Now, if they start fucking shit up again like they were earlier and start turning the ball over and Washington's able to capitalize, then that's a different story. But we'll see how it plays out. But once again, still a lot of football left. But in the meantime, 17-10 Eagles on top of Washington. Once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. Links in the description below.
The holidays are in full swing, and you can feel the magic in the air.
Especially at T-Mobile. Let's go to Diane.
Can you tell us what's happening? I got the awesome new iPhone 13 Pro and AirPods, and T-Mobile's paying for them both. Oh, and I get a free year of Apple TV Plus.
Upgrade to the iPhone 13 Pro and AirPods, both on us. Only at T-Mobile.
And this is for new and existing T-Mobile and Sprint customers. Like me, back to you. Hello?
We're going to T-Mobile.
Joe Millionaire returns. Two Joes, the best of luck. One's a millionaire, one's not.
Wait, what?
Joe Millionaire premieres January 6th on Fox. By T-Mobile, largest fastest reliable 5G network. We'd like to welcome the men and women of U-Force serving around the world, watching tonight's broadcast in 167 countries and aboard ships at sea on AFN, the American Forces Network. Thanks so much for all you do. We hope you're enjoying tonight's telecast. We wish you all a very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, wherever you may be serving our nation. So, thank you for your service. First down and 10.
First and 10, Philly. And Hurt's going to hand off Miles Sanders, and he's got a block. And he's going to get 8, maybe 9 yards on that run. Highly touted recruit out of Pittsburgh. Came in behind Saquon Barkley, who's also in the division. Giants really haven't used him to his full potential, though. He's battled injuries, though, as has Miles Sanders. But first Philly player with consecutive 100-yard rushing games since LaShawn McCoy in 2014. That's good company for Miles Sanders to be a part of. That is damn good company for Sanders to be a part of with Shady, who's another PA kid from Harrisburg. And a few Super Bowls for him after he played for the Eagles, Bills, Chiefs, and Bucks, winning 2 Super Bowls the past 2 years. But, yeah, that's damn good company for him to be part of. But just keep running them. He came out on that play, Jordan Howard in, but in the meantime, Jalen Hurts smart enough to tuck it and run because nobody's open. Take what the defense gives you, and he gets a first down on the slide. Be first and 10, Philadelphia. From the 48-yard line, out of the pistol, Jordan Howard, who's another reliable running back. He is. He's not the starter he used to be in Chicago, but, you know, he can run the football for you. Chip away at it. Eventually, you're going to, you know, break one off. The Eagles are running the ball extremely well right now. They are. And that's why they're in position to potentially make the playoffs. But you have to take care of business yourself. Because if you put it in somebody else's hands, it might not get done. You take care of business yourself, rest will sort itself out. They fumble the toss. Luckily, they recover. Be 3rd down and 6. 3rd and 6, yeah. Weather's starting to play a factor a little bit, but not by much. But yeah, it's really raining. Really raining. And when it's cold to begin with, and then it's raining on top of it, one, you're going to be wet, and as time goes on, and Dallas Goedert dropping the football again, you're only going to get colder. So, 4th down, they'll punt. That's another catch and a drop. But maybe he's just used to dropping the first pass run his way in each half, and then he makes up for it the rest of the way. And I mean, he's had a good night, but a few big drops on 3rd down. At least that one didn't go for an interception off of his heel, but still, like, you got to catch it. You know, you're getting paid to play tight end in the NFL. You're relied on to catch football. So, and then when you don't, yeah, there's all hell to pay. So,
Washington gets the stop. Now the touchdown with 8:35 to play in the third.
got timeout, 8.5 to play in the third. Philly up 17-10 over Washington. We'll get back to the action momentarily. So stick with us.
Who's the MVP?
Without me, this wouldn't exist. We gotta bring everybody in.
Because that's how we all win.
There's a lot of good movies out right now, and as we see a commercial or two for a few of them that are coming out, we have some history being made in the meantime in that Seahawks-Ram game. And with one of the movies that is coming out, American Underdog, the Kurt Warner story with his wife Brenda and their family, Cooper Kupp has broken the franchise record. He passes Isaac Bruce for most receptions in franchise history after getting the touchdown versus Seattle Seahawks is tied up at 10. So that's good company because Isaac Bruce is a Hall of Famer. And Isaac Bruce caught a lot of passes from Kurt Warner. And now, of course, speaking of movies, his movie American Underdog comes out on Friday. It's giving me vibes of Invincible. Of course, tying in Philadelphia here with Vince McCauley when, of course, Mark Wahlberg portrayed him. But and Dick Vermeil was a centerpiece in that movie as the Eagle head coach. And then Vermeil, you know, coaches the Rams to a Super Bowl win over the Titans with the greatest show on turf. But, you know, as we come full circle, we're going to come back to this game. 1st and 10 for Philadelphia on offense, up 17-10. Or Washington, from the 10-yard line. And Gibson on the run. And he'll get about 8 yards. Yeah, Philly just punted. Because Dallas Goedert, once again, dropped the football. So...
circumstances around it, but said it is still a very cool moment for her and black women in sports. And because she is a coach, not just a woman coach, she very quickly pivoted away from her and said the guys are prepared to play.
Out of the pistol, 2nd down and 2. Gilbert on a play action. And nice snag there by DeAndre Carter. And he'll get to the 25-yard line for a 1st and 10 for the Skins. So... Philly on defense going to try to hold them if they can to next to nothing, hold this lead, take it in the 4th quarter, but from now until then, because after their opening second half drive that resulted in 6, quick 3 and out, they go 3 and out as well. Washington with the ball back here, 1st and 10 to 25. And Gilbert gets drilled as he gets rid of it, intended and incomplete, and we got an update. What do we got? It's Seahawks-Rams. Who would have thought? It's another game on right now. Cooper Kupp's touchdown. 10-10 with the Seahawks and Rams, and they got 2:11 to play in the 3rd quarter, so they're about 5 minutes or so ahead of us. But they're deadlocked at 10. We got a 7-point lead right now for Philly on top of Washington, so both close games, of course. Yeah, we'll see how this plays out, but here we go from the 25-yard line For second and 10 for Washington, down 7, 17-10 Philly. Philly might have jumped off sides. Hand off Gibson, nowhere for him to go. Tackle for loss in the backfield. And third down.
Here, and now you're really behind the sticks in your own territory. This is going to be tough.
Third down and long. Third and long. Austin 3:16 to go on a 3rd and 16 here. 6.5 to play in the third quarter. And from the 19, Gilbert. Pump fake's going to go deep down the far sideline. And incomplete. No penalty. They wanted a pass interference on the Eagle defense. I'm going to get it. 10 for Terry McLaurin. Incomplete. Fourth down. So they're going to punt again. Eagles still going to have another chance here, even with the lead, to potentially put this game away. They've scored 17 unanswered. They're going to get the ball back on this punt return. Field of the 26 on the return to the 36-37. 10, 11-yard return. Be 1st and 10 for Philadelphia when we return, as they have a 17-10 lead here midway through the third quarter of play. In the meantime, College Bowl season rolls on. We saw earlier in Boise on the blue turf the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. It was Wyoming defeating Kent State out of the MAC, as they couldn't run, couldn't throw, and they, in the end, couldn't win. They did score 38 points, but Wyoming's quarterback put it to him. He had over 200 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns. Plus, he was a threat in passing game as well, and they lose by a few scores there. So Wyoming, your 2021 famous Idaho Potato Bowl champions, as they doused their head coach, Craig Bull, with some French fries. And now we have in the Frisco Bowl the Tropical Smoothie Cafe Frisco Bowl. Man, I tell you what, these bowl names, bowl game names, the bowl names, I'll say that right, just anymore, it's ridiculous. These companies will do anything to advertise, but as I mentioned in my College Football Bowl season preview, be sure to check that out. PUBG had sponsored a bowl game there over the weekend for the New Mexico Bowl. That was won by Fresno State over UTEP, and now we have San Diego State and UTSA. So, same conferences, but, when's the Fortnite Bowl going to be played? But we got this game almost at halftime. The Roadrunners and the Aztecs tied at 14, and got about less than 10 seconds before half. But of course, College Football Bowl season will roll on this week. We'll get into the thick of it next week, into the new year then too. But in the meantime, back to this Redskin Eagle game. 1st and 10 for Philly. After they've trailed by 10, they've scored 17 unanswered. Okay, they scored in the opening drive of this third quarter. However, Washington since then has punted twice, along with the Eagles punting on their last drive. So from the 37, 1st and 10 Philly. Up 7, 17-10. Seahawks, Rams tied at 10 as they near the end of the third quarter. So both these games going to come down to the wire. Now, unless, say, Seattle, LA goes to overtime, and then, this game wraps up, we might get bonus coverage. I highly doubt it, though, since they're going to finish before we will, it looks like. But
with tables and jerseys and towels and you name it, pictures for you to sign, and they get it all done so you didn't have to worry about it during the season.
we got a 2nd down and 6 now from the 41 for the Eagles.
I'd say, hey, I can't read that. I don't know whose name that is. You need to write it in a way I can read it. But we were out here for practice on Friday, and I saw that signature. I said, wait, who is that? It's only the numbers.
And Jalen Hurts complete, but short. Be 3rd and 2. San Diego State kicks a field goal close at the half. They're up 17-14 on UTSA. But 17-10 here in this matchup with Washington Philly. 3rd and 1, the handoff, and Sanders gets an Eagle first down. From midfield of the 1st and 10. New set of downs, under 5 to play in the 3rd quarter with a lead. Run the football, continue to play good defense.
You know, and he said you got to have the whole name visible. I need to know who it is. That kind of thing. It's got to be legible. Such a stud this many days and did so much for the community and this team over the last few years.
There's one part of our centers where the jerseys of both the Eagles and the Washington football team was career.
Play clock winding down. They get it off out of the pistol. Another give. Jordan Howard up the middle. Dolphin fans are probably wishing he still played for him, but he doesn't. He's an Eagle, and he picks up another Philly first down to around the 35-yard line. 1st and 10. Starts up front. You have to be able to block the run. And the hole opens up, and he hits it and gets a first down. They're going to go hurry up. Bubble screen. And Greg Ward Jr., the former Houston quarterback, who has played both wide receiver and quarterback for the Eagles in his career, but back to playing wide receiver. Catch for him there. And down out of bounds for a big first down.
With what Jalen Hurts just did in the ring with the football, that's some of the best ball handling I've seen in a long time. That is not easy football. We did some of that stuff here in Philly with Chip Kelly.
Got some boos now from the crowd. A late whistle, I think. Oh, wow. It's because they can give him the first down. 2nd and 1. They say he stepped out of bounds a yard short. And now we got another injured player, so there's your other reason. But 3-3-3 to play in this 3rd quarter. 2nd down and 1 for Philly, up 7.
These guys, as far as the stamina goes, they've been off for a few days. They've dealt with COVID.
Personnel has just been such a huge issue for Washington. And it looked like coming back into this game, other than their quarterback, at least on defense, they got those interior guys healthy. And this was going to be an advantage for them to, have those couple days off, get some players back. Then it turned around to bite him. Losing Sheriff. Their guard almost had to play center. I mean, they're just all over the place. It's their 4th starting center for the season. I mean, these are difficult things to overcome for a team in one season.
2nd and 1 from the 27-yard line. Working the clock a little bit. They're not snapping it on the play clock until about 2-1 seconds remaining. And they hand it off to get another first down. Jordan Howard up the middle. Hell, they might have 200-yard backs by the end of the night to keep it up. As Miles Sanders already has passed the century mark, 18 carries, 131 yards rushing. Jalen Hurts is the difference, though. He's put the team on his back. 2 rushing touchdowns, and then 14-19, 203 yards passing. Does have the interception and a fumble, in which they both capitalized on. So did Washington. That's why they have the 10 points. Other than that, they don't have anything. Philly kept up 17-0 right now, closing it out. Not extending their lead and still closing out with a 10-14 point lead potentially here soon. But Jordan Howard, about 50 yards rushing. So 17-10 Philly here. Just keep running football. Kenny G in the ball game.
So this is, you can tell when this crowd erupts. They've been hoping for one of these type of games.
If they can hold this lead, if not extend it a little bit more into the second half and control the fourth quarter, they're going to win. No doubt about it. From the 21. Hurts, empty set, going to step up, and he's going to be brought down. Yeah. No penalty for a potential face mask, but see a closer replay. They bring him down on the sack, and it'll now be second and long. Or maybe a horse collar more than a face mask, but just grab them and then, wrap them up. That's old school face mask right there. You don't see the middle part anymore. It's always the 2 or 3 bars, but not the centerpiece. Even for a defensive lineman, he might be the only guy in the league that has that type of face mask. Philly going to call timeout. They'll have 2 remaining. Up 7, minute 8 to play in the third quarter. 3rd and 13 after the sack. And yeah, they wanted a penalty, but they weren't going to get it. So let's see what they do here. I'd run a draw. Because you're already in field goal range. Don't do anything stupid. Don't put yourself out of field goal range and have to punt. You have a chance to go up 10, take this game in the fourth. You play good defense. Unless you give a big play or two, for the most part, you should be able to hold on to win it. You should. But coulda, woulda, shoulda in the end. We'll see how this plays out. So I'd run a draw. Run a draw or screen on 3rd and 13 with a 7-point lead. Hurts on a pass over the middle of the 19. It's caught. Devontae Smith on the reception. Short line of game, though, so it'll be 4th down. They will kick it. Drain this clock, though. Drain the clock. There's about a 20, 21 second differential. Go up 10. Give them the ball back, 15, 20 seconds or so. And then they'll get 1 snap probably after the return to close the quarter out, if any at all. Kick's going to be up and good from 37 yards out. And the Eagles now have scored 20 unanswered to take a 20-10 lead, but we might have had some movement up front because there is a penalty on the play. So they might have to re-kick this, and it'll be a 42-yarder then. You still kick it because it's 4th and 18. Now, if it's on Washington, it'll be a 32-yarder, but then you decline it because the kick's already up and good. Yeah. Decline it. You have the points because it'll be a 4th and 8. You'd still end up kicking it. You don't want to go for this. You decline it. Take the points. You're up 10, 20-10. Be 4th and 1, 4th and 2. That's a different story. Penalties decline. Kicks good. Wait until the last second to let them know. Yeah, penalties decline, kicks good. Can't change your mind after you tell them, no, I don't want to do this now. Yes, you can. But he still didn't. They decline it. Yeah, that's a good decision to decline it. You take the points. So, yeah, they're going to kick off with 18 seconds. And so Washington will probably run 1 play to close the quarter, have a 2nd down, probably begin the 4th. You get off the field early, 4th quarter on defense with a 10-point lead, continue to play good defense, running the ball as good as you are on offense, work the clock in the 4th quarter. This game's going to be over before too long, and Philly's going to win it. And credit to them, they'll get to 7-7. Whoever wins this game is going to be 7-7. But whoever loses is going to be done for. The season's over with for the most part. Because unless you win out 9-8 and probably even get more help on top of it, it still might not be enough to get in because you didn't do enough early in the season. On the return, Washington, DeAndre Carter to the 32. They'll have a 1st and 10 from there. So they got 3 timeouts on 13 seconds. This final 15-13 to play tonight. As Seattle and LA are now in the 4th quarter. It was tied at 10. We'll see if we can get an update on that score here momentarily, but we'll update some stats and scores here in a second too, so stay tuned. But see what Washington does here on 1st and 10. No doubt about it, whether they win or lose tonight, more so than not if they lose. And yeah, time possession, they're down by double Philly has. They run it a few yards, but that'll do it for the 3rd quarter. Ron Rivera is the right man for the job because Washington, the Skins or the football team or whether who knows what the hell their new nickname will be next year. Since they won Super Bowls with Joe Gibbs and Doug Williams and, a few replacement players, and then Gibbs comes back, they go to the playoffs with him 15 years ago. Of course, him with NASCAR and Kyle Busch better eat some M&Ms, but, Washington just, they're not one of the worst teams in the league, but over that stretch, they'd be, I guess you could say, categorized, not necessarily as a dumpster fire, but they're just, they'll contend, but there's always more with Washington off the field situations than there is on the field. And it starts with Dan Snyder, and it works its way down. So we'll see,
Overserved last night? Sometimes life gets busy, even out of hand, and that can lead to dehydration and fatigue. Now there's a fast
But at the end of 3 here tonight, Philadelphia has scored 20 unanswered. They now lead 20-10 at home from the Lincoln Philly on top of the Washington football team, the Redskins, by 10, 20-10. Garrett Gilbert is 10 of 18, 112 yards passing. Jalen Hurts after the 10-point deficit. And if he doesn't turn the ball over, they're probably shutting him out. They might have a few points, but they're probably shutting him out, you think about it, because Washington has not done jack shit since 1st quarter. But we still got 15 to play. They can still come back and win this. They have time and timeouts and, not that big of a hole. Because if Philly can come back and tie it at 10 at halftime, and you're down 10 right now to tie it at 20 to close the game before it's overtime, you can do it too. So I'm saying there's a chance, yes. But Jalen Hurts has, in fact, put this team on his back. He has. 15-20, 210 yards passing. Does have the interception and the fumble. That's Washington's 10 points. Other than that, they don't have anything. Miles Sanders has 18 carries, 131 yards rushing. Jordan Howard, 6 of 44. And then Hurts, 8 carries, 38 yards rushing, and 2 touchdowns. His 2 touchdowns are the difference. Because if he doesn't score those 2 touchdowns, they have 2 field goals, and they trail right now by 4, 10-6 to begin the 4th quarter. This game is being won up front in the trenches in the running game. Once again, expect, as I mentioned earlier, a lot of rushing tonight, a lot of running the damn football. In Philadelphia, more power to them because they're able to. 32 carries for 213 yards as a team. In the meantime, though, 3rd and 3 for Washington. And a deep ball near side, incomplete from Gilbert and 10 for Humphrey. He's never going to get a penalty. Defensive pass interference on a questionable call, but automatic first down. Antonio Gibson has 13 carries, 26 yards rushing, and a touchdown. McLaurin, 2 of 51. They haven't gone to him enough. Gibson, 4 for 31 on the backfield. Ricky Seals-Jones, 2 for 16, shut out in the second half. DeAndre Carter, 2 catches, 12 yards. Yeah, DPI, crowd doesn't like it, of course, but probably the right call. It was questionable, but I've seen a replay, probably a good call. Never really turned his head around. And really, anytime the defender doesn't turn his head around, whether it's right at the last second or not, and you're pushing the guy on top of it, they're going to call a penalty on you. So Dallas Goedert has a few drops, should have a few more catches, but he already has 6 for $118 receiving. So Philly with 10-point lead. Washington going to run an end around. Gilbert on a block, and DeAndre Carter down the near sideline, pushed out of bounds inside the 10, and their best play. This is coming back, though. They're probably going to make up for the penalty on the previous play with pass interference. This is going to come back for a hold. If it stands, yes. If it stands, this is coming back, though. This is going to be a hold or a block in the back. Personal foul, blindside block on the offense. 15 yards, replay, first down, so first and a mile now. Wow. Just as, Washington had everything going for them earlier, and Philly didn't have a damn thing. That's flipped. It was a tale of two quarters at halftime. Now it's, still really the same. But on top of that, Philly's taken over. They've controlled this game since being down 10. 20 unanswered has to speak for something. Now, 1st and 13 officially. The odd down and distance to go after penalties sometimes is awkward, but they run it 2nd down. No gain, 2nd and 13. Early 4th quarter here. Washington's got to do something quick. And it's time possession and it's rushing yards. And it's Jalen Hurts putting the team on his back. Would it have been a different story, or will it right now be a different story if Taylor Heineke or Kyle Allen was starting quarterback compared to Garrett Gilbert? Maybe, but at the same time, probably not. I doubt it, because Philly's... I know what I said earlier about him, and I take back everything I said for the most part, but you got to still have consistency, and you can't just allow this to be, a one and done. If you want to make the playoffs, you're going to have to take care of business down the stretch to make the playoffs. You're going to have to win a few more games. And they'll have a winnable game next week to get to 8-7 potentially, playing the Giants. So there's a win potentially, and then you got a couple more games. But 3rd and 1, they're going to run a bootleg. And it's going to be caught, and they're going to walk in. Actually, knees down to 1, but so to speak, reaching across the goal line. That should be a touchdown, but they're going to mark them short. Goal to go, 1st and goal from 1.5, 2 yard line, it looks like. So, still 12.5 to play. Don't blow this Philly now. Good play call. 2 good play calls in this drive. The one came back because of a penalty. They run a toss and then an end around to the backs and receivers, and then run a bootleg, and he hits the tight end, and he's down. He's down at the 2. They'll have a 1st and goal. See if they can score here, because they're still going to have 3 timeouts plus 2-minute warning, where Philly's only going to have 2 timeouts, 2-minute warning. They hand off up the middle, touchdown Washington. Down 4, pending the upcoming extra point to make it a 3-point deficit. You're only going to need another field goal to tie this game up. So Philly's still going to have to do something on offense here. Unless they're going to run the ball and work the clock, maybe go on a 7, 8, 9-minute drive. You kick the extra point here, make it a 3-point deficit. You don't want to go for 2 and then be down 4, because then you need a touchdown to win the game. You put yourself in a good spot, it'll work itself out. If of course, you're going to be in this situation to win the game. And Patterson. Dean Patterson with a rushing touchdown on NFL Tuesday Night Football. And the extra point going to be up and good. 20-17 now, Philly. As it's gotten quiet. It has gotten quiet in Philadelphia. And just wait. Offense does something. extend their lead, touchdown to make another 10-point lead. Okay, even better. Field goal puts pressure on Washington. They need a touchdown to take the lead. But just imagine if they don't do a damn thing, Washington gets the ball back. They blow this lead. We go to overtime or, they win at regulation. We've heard a ton of boos already tonight. Just wait. And with all the Santa Clauses that are there, yeah, you better start fucking running. Because they're going to let you have it. But, come down to the wire. Credit to Washington there. They're able to, get a decent drive going. And it cost them there at a point in time with the penalty. But in the end, overcame that and found a way to punch it in for 6. So 20-17, Philly, as they'll get the ball back 1st and 10 with 11:44 to play.
You coach right. I know that's right. I've never believed in double coverage, but the health insurance at Aflac is money. And I know how Coach Brown feels about money. Now that is what this jacket needs.
Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover. Aflac.com. At Chipotle, real food always starts with real ingredients in real kitchens. When you order Chipotle, real food starts with you. Whether it's in restaurant, pickup, or delivery. However you Chipotle is the easiest way to Chipotle.
This ball is going to be fielded around the 3-yard line, and Philly's going to run out of bounds around the 20. So 1st and 10 from there. Of course, they promote the doubleheader on Christmas with Cleveland and Green Bay and Indy and Arizona. We'll have live watch-along reactions this upcoming weekend as well. Just be sure to subscribe right here on YouTube so you can stay up to date with that little notification bell next to it as well. 1st down and 10. From the 20. Hurts going to hand off. Run the ball, work the clock. That was Jordan Howard. They keep it up, they might end with over 300 total yard rushing as a team with 2 100-yard rushers, because Hurts has also run the ball extremely well. Those 2 rushing touchdowns on top of it too. That's the difference. It is. But the big difference is the last field goal by Philly, because if they, even with the offsides and the kick's up and good, decide to still go for it, they don't get it, and Washington scores. We're tied at 17 right now. That's why you kick it. You take the points. That pass is caught. Quez Watkins for Eagle 1st down. So from the 32, 1st and 10. And Hurts going to fake it. He's looking deep. He's going to dump it off, though. It's caught, and he landed right on his head, getting flipped on the tackle. Hopefully he's okay. He did. Holy shit. There's been a lot of shots, a lot of scary injuries this past weekend in the sport of football as well, both college and the NFL. Boom, right on his fucking head. So they'll take a TV timeout with the injury, and rightfully so. 10:02 to play. Eagles up 3, 20-17. They'll have a second down and medium when we return. Back to it though, Frisco Bowl, UTSA, SDSU, University of Texas San Antonio, and San Diego State. Third quarter, San Diego State up 3, 17-14 as it was at halftime. However, they got a first and goal here looking to extend their lead. First and goal from the 1. And Brady Hoke, the former Michigan head coach, back at San Diego State, and they'll hand off up the middle and score another touchdown and extend their lead, make it 23-14, pending the upcoming extra point.
This holiday season, your local Acura dealer is breaking out the toys. The Acura season of performance. Tracks sold separately.
At Popeyes, we got a feast for your family. Whether it's spicy or mild fried chicken or tenders, our brand new homestyle mac and cheese, or any of our other delicious sides, there's something for everyone at the table. Try it today and earn points with Popeyes rewards.
Who are you?
I did what I did to save myself, but this isn't who I am. I'm just
The holidays are here, and with 4 days of football, it's the best time of year. First, Thursday night. Then a Christmas doubleheader. 12 games on Sunday, and a Monday night present.
Football so fun.
Tis the biggest season ever.
3-point game with 10 minutes to go. The stakes for this one really mean staying in the wild card race. The loser is going to have a really tough road to home. Each team with 3 games left. Jack Stoll limped off to the sideline.
Back to it after the injury. Jarrett Patterson, to answer your question. 2nd and 3, and Jordan Howard gets another Eagle first down. The touchdowns tonight, Gibson has one, and Patterson has the other. And then Jalen Hurts has 2 rushing touchdowns, and then it's a field goal game. And it's a field goal lead by Philly right now, 20-17, under 10 to play, and a first down run. So that's where we are. 9:09 and counting. If anybody has an update on the Seahawks Rams score, let me know in the comments below. That's dropped. Way too many damn drops. Somehow the play's still ongoing, though, because the refs don't blow it dead. But yeah, that's incomplete. They'll replay or not replay the town. Well, speaking of the devil, Seahawks Rams, we've got an update. So, what do we got? Cooper Kupp with another receiving touchdown. Rams 17-10. Yep, 3.5 to play. So Russell Wilson going to have to do what he did against Washington Monday night and try to lead them come from behind win. They lose. Seattle's done for. The loser of this game, I feel like, is done for. Atlanta, they're still in the mix too. They shouldn't even be talked about though, 6 and 8. But yeah, you're going to have to win out and need some help. Which, if you take care of business yourself, you don't have to worry about that. But a couple big games right now to close out the week, no doubt about it. But It's been a wild, almost full week now for this week 15, but we'll take another day off, have Thursday night football, take Friday off for Christmas Eve, and then doubleheader Saturday and Christmas, full slate on Sunday, Monday night football into the new year, and a couple more regular season weeks, and then the playoffs begin. So hopefully everyone has a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, but it's now in the meantime a 3rd and 6 for Philly. And from the 47, Rager on the reception near side, and he's got a convoy. He's got a good block by his offensive lineman, and he's going to get pushed out of bounds around 20-yard line. Simple bubble screen. Get your playmakers ball in space and let him work. And a lot of yak yards for him on that. At least he caught it. And he's able to move the ball out past midfield. Big first down play by Philly. And like I said a minute ago, okay, field goal is going to extend your lead, but then Washington, okay, they just drove and scored a touchdown and cut to 3. Touchdown for them then would, unless they miss it or decide to go for 2 for some unknown reason, take the lead. You need a touchdown on this drive, and they get it on that very play. Greg Ward on the reception from Jalen Hurts, who now has 1 passing touchdown to go along with his 2 rushing, and the Eagles back to 9, make it 10-point lead with the extra point to come. Nice back shoulder throw in the end zone right at the pylon, and Greg Ward, the former quarterback, now receiver, knows what the quarterback's going to do in that situation, beats his man and able to come down with the grab. So touchdown Philadelphia. Make it 27-17 with this Jake Elliott extra point. That's a delay of game, but they let him go. Kicks up and good. 27-17, Philly. 7:46 to play. Make it 7:47 because Washington's going to need a jet airliner to come back and win this game, which time's not going to be on their side, even with 3 timeouts, 2-minute warning to come. They haven't still shown me, even though they just drove and scored a touchdown on their last drive. They had a 10-point lead, and then, Philly scored 20 unanswered, cut 3 again, and then another touchdown. So you're back to trading points, which ain't good when the game's on the line. But EAGLES once again with another Eagle touchdown. And 27-17 your score. So Jalen Hurts. The question on if he's the guy at quarterback for Philly right now, I'd say yes, for sure, no doubt about it. They have to find consistency, though, because if that's not there and you're up and down all over the place, it's just, you're back to square one in the end. And with how Philly sports are, I mean, when you're winning, it's a good thing, but all hell breaks loose when, especially the Eagles. I get the Phillies and the Flyers. It's a lot like Pittsburgh, compared to the 2 cities. You still have the Sixers. Pittsburgh versus them an NBA team. But whenever, the teams win, the city's on a high. Because the cities the sports run the city. They do. As much as the cities and all the politics involved think they run it, no. Because when you win, you say little, and when you lose, you say little. When you win, you say less. So, did I say that right? Right? I think so. When you lose, you say little, and when you win, you say less. Yeah, that's right. I've said it a few times this year, so don't want to catch myself and make myself think. Just say the damn word. Washington's going to have to go hurry, though, right now. Hurry up. 2nd and 10, and Gibson on the screen pass, and boom, nice big hit, but a 5-yard reception, so.
What a story. 30 years old and with 18
Yeah, Garrett Gilbert, give an update on him. He'll be all right. But they go 3rd and 5 right now. 3rd and 5. If Philly's defense get off the field right now, hold them, get the ball back, this game's over. And it looks like both home teams tonight are going to win. 3rd and 5 from the 30. And completion for, needed only 5 yards. He got 6, and that's enough for a first down, so they're going to move the sticks. Third down and 5, make it 1st and 10. Got about 6.5 to play. Why don't you go back to the TV section? I'm sure they have the game on every fucking TV in the store. But 1st and 10, and catch, but tight end and Ricky Seals-Jones slips and falls, and got about a yard or so. Be 2nd out 9. Second and 9 from the, where are they at? 37. Philly might have jumped off sides. Gilbert gets drilled as he gets rid of it. Finds man over the middle, though. 1st and 10 at midfield. And, maybe. Down 10. 5.5, 3 timeouts. They still have a chance, but we talked earlier about special teams in the end potentially being the difference. Even turnovers, I have a feeling right now. So, that pass is incomplete. 2nd out 10. If they get in because look at how the first half ended. One, you can't take a sack in that situation. Time ran out on you. Which you're not going to do that either. But we've had a few turnovers tonight. Why not have another? And the few we've had, start the game. Very weird INT off the heel. Why not end the game the same way? I'm not saying, that's how it'll go, but Washington's got a 3rd and 10 here at midfield. And if they don't convert, you would have to think they're going to have to decide quick, because you don't want to work any clock, because you're down 10. It'd be different if you have a lead, on whether or not they're going to go for it or not. It wouldn't be a bad idea to go for it, but you don't get it. You're giving the game that way. See what happens here, though, first. Gilbert, it's going to be caught, so drive's going to stay alive for the time being. They 3rd and 10, get 11. They work the sticks. 1st and 10, Washington. All right. So keep it simple. Humphrey's on the reception. But, if this drive does, in fact, now stall, at least, hopefully, you get a few more yards. You kick a field goal back special teams, and then you need a touchdown if you do, in fact, at all get the ball back, game come down to the wire to tie to force overtime then. Under 4 to play. But you still don't want to do anything stupid. You can't take sacks, especially now. Definitely can't take sacks, because you're going to be in field goal range here shortly. You're right on the cusp right now. You're right on that line. See if they can walk it and get a few more yards and get a few more points to make this finish interesting. But that pass is batted down, but do not turn it over either. Be 3rd down and 7 following incompletion. Do not turn the ball over. Because if they turn the ball over, whether that's, which I don't think Ron Rivera would go for it now, he'd kick it. You got to get about, on 3rd and 7, 4th and short, maybe you decide to go for it, maybe just try to draw them off sides, but you still kick it, I would think, because you got timeout plus 2-minute warning. You got to get at least 3, 4, 5 yards on this play. At least. And you can't take a sack or turn the ball over. Because this right here might be the play of the game. Even though it's third down. This might be the play of the game right now. 3rd and 7, empty set. Can't take a sack. He's going to be tripped. And then he flips it. It's caught, but a loss of 2. And now you got a decision to make back to where you were at midfield. Jesus Christ, Washington. Good pressure, and they get to him. They barely get to him, though. They trip him up right at the last second. Then he trips himself. So talk about feet and the heels. Yeah. That's what this game's come down to in the end. And it looks like they're going to go for it. I mean, you sort of have to, because from here, from 39-yard line, it'd be about a 56, 57-yard field goal. They're going to go for it, 4th and 9. Can't take a sack. He does. Ball comes out, and then they pick it up, but tackled right away. And now Philly's going to get the ball back. 1st and 10. Clock's still rolling for some of them. There's no add a few seconds back on the clock, I would think. Probably 2:32. There's 2:29 to play. Washington can still get the ball back with under 2 to play if they are smart with their timeouts coming up. You can't give up a first down, though. You got to get the hell off the field on defense. And if you can, I mean, you're still down 10. You'd have to drive and score quick, kick an onside kick, and then see what the difference is at that point in time to know what you have to get to, force overtime. Unless you'd score 2 touchdowns and win it, which they scored 10 points in the first quarter. Not a damn thing until on their last drive. And turnover on downs here. Philly ball 1st and 10, up 10, 27-17 with 2.5 to play. And guess what the Eagles are going to do? They're going to run the football. Jalen Hurts is going to hand off to Miles Sanders. Jordan Howard's in the ball game right now. Even Kenny G's been out there a few here tonight. So they're going to run the football, work the clock. Washington, Ron Rivera will be smart about his timeouts, I guess. Call 3 before the 2-minute mark, but you can't give a first down, because if you give a first down, then at that point, game's over. They can run the clock, take a few kneel downs, and game's over. So we'll update some final stats and scores here in a minute, but in the meantime, timeout Washington. They'll have 2 remaining. Both teams will have 2:24 to play, but the Eagles are on top by 10, 27-17. In the meantime, out west, the Seahawks are also down by 10 now. 20-10 Rams with under a minute to play. Seahawks have the football, though. So, as mentioned, it does look like both home teams are going to win this NFL Tuesday night doubleheader, as for only the 5th time on a Tuesday the NFL has played since 1948, and for the first time since 1934 they've had at least 2 games on this respective day of the week. But here in the meantime, after the timeout, 2nd down and 10 from the 49-yard line. Out of the pistol, run it. Hand off Jordan Howard. They'll have a 3rd and 2. 2:18 timeout. Make it 2:16 and a timeout. 3rd down and short. They give a first down here, even with 2 minutes and 1 more timeout. I mean, Philly might have another 3rd down when it comes down to it, to move ahead. They do reset the clock to 2:19, okay. 3rd and 2, but for the most part, ball game. Just keep running it, 3rd and 2. I mean, you could, if you want to, because if a 4th and short, you punt. You could take a deep shot here down the middle of the field if you want to, and if it gets picked off, well, hopefully it's inside the 10-yard line, and you'll switch field, and it'd be the same thing as if you'd punt and pin them deep. So, 3rd and short. And the Rams have defeated the Seahawks 20-10. So Seattle season, for the most part, is done for. Goddard on the reception. He stays in bounds. Clock's going to roll. Washington's still going to have one timeout. But with 2 minutes to play, a new set of downs for Philly and the one timeout by Washington, down 10, this game's over. This game is over. The Eagles can take a few kneel downs, and they'll win it 27-17, unless they run it and they don't get stopped and they score again. But, they're not going to be running up the score by any means. Nick Sirianni's not that big of a douchebag against Ron Rivera to tack it on, because winner will get to 7-7. It's going to be Philly. Washington, along with Seattle season now done for, along with Atlanta, I think, even though they officially have not been eliminated yet. Chicago was last night, though, in the Monday night loss at home. So we're going to have a few 10, 11 win teams right now in the league in the playoff picture. A couple 8, 9 win teams, and then there's 4 7-7 teams in the AFC, and there will be 3 7-7 teams in the NFC after this game, and everybody else is below that. So it's going to be a very wild, interesting final 3 weeks, to say the least, as we'll end this regular season before the playoffs do in fact begin in a little less from a month from now. But yeah, Philly here can run the clock out. Should be able to, at least, I would think. I'd hope. But even down 10, if Washington would get the ball back with, under 30 seconds to play, they're not going to do anything. And Philly's still going to win. So 27-17 is your score, and probably will be your final score here in a matter of minutes. But just once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. Be sure, as always, to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Scroll down, check out Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and hit that red subscribe button, little notification bell next to it right here on YouTube. And chat questions and comments, super chat, super stickers, all those great shit as well. But be sure to tune back in next weekend as well for more live watch along reactions live right here on YouTube. Be sure to check out my college football bowl game, bowl season preview as well. That was uploaded about 2 weeks ago now. This game, it seems like, will break the streak of almost a 2-week stretch of, at least 3 streams and then another 4 and 5. So make it 8 if I can do math. So 7 streams in a row, ending yesterday, breaking the streak now with this matchup. All those games coming down to the final play of the game. But it was good while it lasted, I guess. But in the meantime, hey, a win's a win for Philly, and that's all they're going to care about. I could care less if the game comes down to final play or not. I mean, it's been a very crazy, past week in the league with all the postponements and, scary injuries, all the drops we've seen, all the good rushing, though, we've also seen, running the damn football. These teams knowing they need to be able to run the football this late in the year to close out games. But then what little a few quarterbacks have done, both Wentz and Cousins on Saturday and Monday night in wins, they both threw for less than 100 yards. But their teams won, and that's all that matters, and they're still in the mix. They're both in the playoff picture. But Philly, I believe, with the win to go to 7-7 as Washington calls their third final timeout with a minute 54 to play. Eagles are going to move to the 7 spot. And then in the hunt behind them, it's going to be, of course, Minnesota and then New Orleans, as those are your 3 7-7 teams. Washington's still there, Seattle's still there, and then Atlanta as well. But then everybody else that's not in the playoff picture ahead of them, with Green Bay, Tampa Bay, Dallas, Arizona, and then who are the other 2 wildcard teams? Now that I think about it, I'm drawing a blank. It would be San Fran and LA, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah. Okay, so the West might get 3 teams in. But it's going to be a wild, wild West down the stretch. that's the NFC. AFC-wise, you have Kansas City, New England, Tennessee, and Cincinnati with Indy, the Chargers, and the Bills with, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, the Raiders who beat them yesterday, a few other teams as well, including the Dolphins, who have what this game is tonight in a win-and-go-home situation next week. So, got a lot of football left to be played, no doubt about it. Eagles are going to have a 4th and 8 with under 30 seconds. They'll call a timeout. Play clock's winding down. I mean, you could kick a field goal to play it safe. You don't want to give them the ball back. But 24 seconds ain't 4 seconds. You can't snap it and run around and just heave it to run the clock out. Washington's definitely getting the ball back, but they're not going to. With 10-point lead, there's no way in hell they come back on this, even if they would get it back. So just run a play, run it, so nobody gets hurt. Week 16 is going to begin in less than 48 hours from now. Week 15, arguably, as we had a doubleheader this Tuesday night. We had 2 Tuesday games last year on separate days. After 3 Monday doubleheaders, we had a Monday doubleheader yesterday. I believe this will tie for one of the, if not the longest week in NFL history, from when it started to when it ended, from Thursday to Tuesday, with only the Friday, Wednesday, and Friday afterwards for the next week off, because we'll have football Thursday, doubleheader Saturday, all day Sunday, next Monday into the new year, and hopefully it'll be along for the ride. Just be sure to subscribe. 4th and 8, they hand off nowhere. Washington get it back, 19 seconds, no timeouts. They might get 2 plays off, but Eagles are going to win at 27-17. And if there's any teams I missed in the playoff picture, because I'm just going off the top of my head, I'm not actually looking at it right now, let me know in the comments below. I've gone over this a little bit, though, over the past few days anyway, so it's in there at some point in time over these past few streams. But as always, thanks for tuning in and listening. Your final stats and scores, at least for Philly, in the win. Jalen Hurts going to finish 20-26 for 296 passing yards. Touchdown, interception. You got to give credit to both defenses. Hurts was sacked 3 times. Gilbert, in relief of Taylor Heineke and Kyle Allen, who are on the COVID list, he was sacked twice. Hurts, that's going to do it. That's your final play of the game. They hand off. They get a first down. But the Eagles win it on Tuesday Night Football, as did the Rams over the Seahawks. 20-10, 27-17 your final score here. Philly still alive at 7-7. 27-17 your final score once again. Jalen Hurts put the team on his back when it came down to it. He did. We'll see if we get a post-game show. Yeah, we will. Okay. And then Thursday Night Football on Thursday will be exclusive to NFL Network. That'll be 49ers Titans. Fox going to have the 2 Christmas games with Cleveland and Green Bay, though. And then NFL Network for Colts Cardinals exclusive on Saturday night. But Week 15 is finally over. So Tuesday's gone. We're going to be into Week 16 here on Thursday. But, what a crazy week with everything that made it like this, to say the least. But once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. Even with the 2 turnovers by Jalen Hurts, the interception on a weird play to begin the drive, first drive of the game, to begin the game there off the heel, off of the drop by Goddard. Washington drives and scores. They go up 7. They kick a field goal off of a sack fumble. 10-0. Philly 27-7 cents, and they win by 10, 27-17. They had scored 20 unanswered at one point in time, up 20-17 there, late second half here. And then they scored again to extend the lead and close it out with your final score of 27-17. So in the loss, once again, Garrett Gilbert did not play bad. He took that bad sack before halftime. He didn't turn the ball over, though. Their running game, though, compared to Philly's, even with capitalizing off of their 2 turnovers to begin the game, not having a running game ended up being the difference. Gilbert was 20-31, $194 passing, and then Antonio Gibson had 15 carries, 26 yards rushing, and a touchdown. Jarrett Patterson had the other touchdown. So even though they didn't have a running game, 21 for 63, 2 rushing touchdowns. Philly as a team, as Hurts had 2 rushing touchdowns on 8 carries, 38 yards rushing. Jordan Howard had 15 carries, everyone's favorite number other than 420, 69 yards rushing. Miles Sanders, they didn't really play him at all in the fourth quarter, it seemed like. Hopefully he's okay. I don't know if there's any injury with him by any means or not, but 18 carries, 131 yards rushing. And then as a team, the Eagles, 41 carries, 238 yards rushing. Jalen Hurts, team on his back, all 3 touchdowns, 1 passing, 2 rushing, and then 2 field goals and a 10-point win, 27-17 over Washington. As mentioned, Gibson 15 of 26 in the score, and then Patterson 4 for 20 in the score. But Jalen Hurts was 20 of 26, 296 yards passing, a touchdown and interception, also fumbled. Those 2 turnovers led to 10 Washington points. But then they didn't do a damn thing from the end of the first quarter on until they scored their last touchdown there in the fourth to make it 20-17, and then Philly scores again. They win it by 10, 27-17. So Hurts was 20-26, 296 yards passing, touchdown and pick. Miles Sanders had a huge night, Howie Long. 18 for a $131 on the ground. Jordan Howard, 15 carries, 69 yards rushing. And then also Jalen Hurts. Once again, Eagles, literally on his back. 8 carries, 30 yards rushing, and 2 touchdowns, along with his 296 passing and passing touchdown. That was to Greg Ward, who had 2 catches, 28 yards receiving in the score. Dallas Goedert, though. He had 2 drops, one to begin the first half, one to begin the second half. The first half drop was an interception. Lucked out on the second, but he had a few big third down catches. He finished with 7 catches for 135 yards receiving. So basically half, almost half, of Hurts' passing yards went to 88. And then Jalen Reagor had 3 catches, 57 yards receiving. Devontae Smith, 3 of 40. Ward, 2 for 28 in the score. Miles Sanders also had 2 for 25 out of the backfield. Quez Watkins, 2 for 14. Hopefully Jack Stoll's okay. Took a hard hit to the head. 1 catch, 7 yards, but he was able to walk off. We have highlights now of Seattle and LA with the Rams winning 20-10. So LA's going to be in unless they, shit the bed down the stretch, which I don't see happening. Philly's still in contention right now as a wild card at 7-7. But both Seattle and Washington, I feel safe to say their season at this point in time is over with. They're done for. Move on to next year. Whether, a few coaches and players in both situations are back next year, that's a discussion for another day. But Philly, coming off the bye, now 5-2, their last 7 games. Balance. Keeping it simple. There's some consistency there. It can be better. Eagles are playing good football right now. They are. 27-17, though, they win tonight on Tuesday Night Football against Washington. So a win's a win. They'll take it after their slow start. And as Washington will play at Dallas next Sunday night, they lose that, they're for sure done. But they're done, I feel like, now to begin with. But Philly's going to host the Giants. But these 2 teams will meet the following week, early January. So if Philly can take care of business, potentially get some help, they're going to be in the playoffs. If Washington can win out, which I don't see that happening, who knows, though? We've seen crazier shit happen. And then get some help, Maybe they're in for the second straight year. But unlike last year, of course, they'd have to go on the road in the wild card round. They, of course, hosted Tampa Bay and lost to them before the Bucs won the Super Bowl. And now Tampa Bay trying to defend, coming off the loss on the night. A lot of injuries. What's new? Everybody at this point in time in the season is banged up. As a matter of fact, how hurt you actually are and whether or not you can play or not. But they got a few players going on IR, so of course they can't play. They're going to play with who they have, though. That's why you have 53 on the roster, and then you're on the limited practice squad now. But just to tie that in, I mean, your playoff picture, as we're going to look at it, to end Week 15 on to Week 16, right before Christmas. As on the Tuesday before Christmas, both home teams and the Rams and Eagles win. Hopefully everyone has a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year once again as well. In the AFC, and then we'll end with the NFC because both these games tonight were in that conference. You have your division leaders 1, 2, 3, 4 in the AFC with the Chiefs, Patriots, Titans, and Bengals respectively. Colts, Chargers, and Bills right now as your wild cards. And then the teams right now on the outside looking in. You have, in no particular order, but we'll go by record from 8 to 13. So there's another, almost half dozen trying to get into the playoffs. Baltimore, Pittsburgh, the Silver and Black Raiders, who had a big win yesterday, the Dolphins, the Browns, and the Broncos. Those last 4 teams are all 7-7. Pittsburgh either would be 8-6 or also 7-7 if they don't have that tie against the Lions. But if they're 8-6, they're in the 7th spot right now because they have a head-to-head win against Buffalo Week 1. But with that tie, it's hurting them and keeping them out of the playoffs for the time being. But they still have to play both Cleveland and Baltimore in the last 2 weeks of the year. And I'll have live watch-along reactions on Sunday and for those other 2 games early January. But first on Sunday, Steelers-Chiefs, live right here on YouTube. In the NFC, the Packers for the time being right now are the only team to have clinched a playoff berth. They won the NFC North on Sunday with a win at Baltimore. They're 1. Dallas is now 2 with the Tampa loss. Bucks 3, Cardinals 4. So you have an 11-3 Packers and then 3 10-4 teams. Make it now 4 10-4 teams with the Ram win. They're the first wild card at 5. San Francisco 6. And then, Minnesota's still 7. And Philly with the win at 7-7 as well. 3 7-7 teams with Minnesota, Philly, New Orleans. The Eagles, they win the tiebreaker over New Orleans right now based on head-to-head win percentage, whereas with the Vikings, why they're in 7 over Philly, they have the tiebreaker of the Eagles based on win percentage in common games in that regard as well. So Green Bay's 1, Dallas 2, Tampa's 3, Arizona 4. Your 3 wild cards, Rams, 49ers, Vikings, and then you have on the outside looking in the Eagles, the Saints, the Skins, and then from Washington down to the Giants. With Washington, Atlanta, Carolina, Seattle, and the Giants. Big Blue, they're for the most part all done for. However, with Detroit and Chicago, along with Jacksonville, Houston, and the Jets, they're the only, 5 teams who have officially been eliminated to this point in time. So, here tonight on Tuesday Night Football, as I'll leave it at that, as both home teams in LA, the Rams and the Philadelphia Eagles win, it's going to be a very wild 3 weeks to close out the regular season, to say the least. So hopefully you'll be along for the ride. And once again, thank you for tuning in and listening. Hope everybody now next weekend as well for more live watch-along reactions live right here on YouTube. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media if you haven't done so already. Links in the description below. And Rams win 20-10 over the Seahawks, and the Eagles win 27-17 over the Washington football team, formerly known, of course, as the Redskins. But crazy week, this week 15 in the league. It's officially done with now. We can move on to week 16. That'll begin on Thursday night, so we get Wednesday and Friday off before Christmas. Hopefully everyone has a Merry Christmas once again. But Wednesday, Friday, and then we'll have football Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And hell, who knows? Maybe more postponements because of COVID for week 16. Hopefully not, but in the end, one way or another, these games are going to get played. So, yeah, we'll see who wins. We'll see who loses. Hopefully no more goddamn ties, but and in the end, we'll see who's in the playoffs and who's not. But it's going to be a very crazy 3 weeks. And it's going to come down to tiebreakers. It will, believe me. It's going to come down to head-to-head wins, who beat who, here or there. That's why every game matters. Not decide on paper, decide on the field. But, yeah. I'll leave it at that. So, once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. And be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. So, once again, hopefully tune back in next week for more live watch long reactions. Potentially Thursday, potentially on Saturday for Christmas. We'll see. Definitely next Sunday and Monday night for Pittsburgh, Kansas City, and then Miami, New Orleans with WWE Monday Night Raw, as that'll be the go-home for WWE 1 the following Saturday on New Year's, as we'll also on New Year's Day have live watch-along reactions in college football for the 2022 Outback Bowl between Penn State and Arkansas, and then WWE 1 later on in the night. And then that'll be week 17 in the league. Normally the final regular season weekend, but because of the largest season ever in NFL history, 18 weeks, 17 regular season games, we got one more regular season week to follow after that, and then the playoffs begin on the road to Super Bowl 56 from SoCal on Valentine's Day weekend, Royal Rumble just prior to that, and then on the road to WrestleMania. Hell, winter's here, and on the first day of winter, both home teams win, but season, unfortunately, here before too long, will officially be over with. But until then, once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. We'll get there when we get there. It'll fly by as it always does. But then, as always, it'll be spring, dog days of summer, and then next year will be here before you know it. But, yeah. Rams win, Eagles win, and Week 15 finally over with. But just be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. And hope to see everybody now, once again, next week, live right here on YouTube for more live watch-along reactions, whether that's in college football, the NFL, or even professional wrestling. As always, thanks for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. Links, once again, in the description below. So everybody now, next week. Like I said, potentially Thursday and on Christmas this Saturday. And then next Sunday and Monday, too. But once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below.